Hello?
Yep.
Hang on, we got to change the source of the audio.
Okay, we heard you.
No, hang on a second. We got to.
Oh, that's right.
Where's the cable? Is it?
What?
All right, microphone.
We're live, so I'm going to mute yours. Okay, ask him now.
Hey, Alex, can you hear us right now?
Bob, Francis. guys are out. Football players are not up here.
We got Owen.
Nothing right now? You're not getting anything?
Just kind of doing interesting.
He can't hear us right now.
Yes. I'll bring it up. Take off speed.
Alex, can you hear us now?
It's really loud. It seems like he's saying something.
No, that's just the audio that's coming through the microphone. So he can't hear anything on our end. Microphone's live here, so it's not muted or anything, right? Oh, excuse me. What's this computer set up for here?
Well, I thought I'd do the Hangouts on a separate computer, but that was wrong.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Do it on here so I can get the real tag.
Okay. I wonder if the problem's just that the same computer can't have the same microphone source for two different programs. That might be the problem.
I need to shut this one before we- I think this is right now. I think this is right.
Yeah, I know, but he can't hear us, so it's clearly not working. Yeah, maybe give Maddie a call.
That sounds good, Bob. Whatever you want. Don't fall down through the floor. Yep.
Maybe try different ones, and we'll just see which one works. So we tried the default one.
So you're talking and it's showing.
Yeah, but he can't hear us, so it doesn't make a difference. Anything now, Alex? Alex, can you hear anything now? Any audio coming through at all? Chest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to hang up and call back. Hang on, copy that. He's going to hang up and call back. So just copy him. Copy that so you can paste it in real quick if we need it. Oh, just hang up. So the invite's only coming here? Why isn't it ringing through here? Why is it only coming to here? All right, let's call him again. So which one is he?
Alex, no, he isn't one of those.
He isn't one of those?
Type it in, you'll come on. Oh. Isn't this going now?
No, we don't have internet. Someone's in here. Is that you or? Okay. Try it again. That's only going to be a conversation. I don't think that'll be a call. Just copy and paste. You've already pasted that email or copied that email address, right? There you go. No results. See, it's going to try and charge you money for a monetary phone call like that, buddy. Yeah, for some reason we've got an issue with our internet connection at the moment. We're connected. Let me just open another random site. Okay, we've got internet. Interesting. Yeah, maybe just close it, see if you can restart it. I don't know. No idea. If we can only have audio for one, what does he want? Can he play the audio through the computer? Like, can he play the audio from the YouTube stream? Oh, no, we're not.
Prior to the start of today's game, we would like to make a few important announcements. Spectators are asked to remain outside the fence surrounding Garden Field. Only team personnel are allowed on the base court. No fans will be permitted on the field following the completion of the game. Secondly, for your convenience, restrooms are located on the far left side of the concession stand, which is located in the south end of the complex. Spectators are reminded that no objects will be thrown onto the playing surface or in the crowd. Additionally, there is no smoking allowed inside the Springfield National Complex or on school grounds. We ask for your help in obeying this regulation. Spectators are also allowed to keep the walkway from all places clear.
We can give him if we have the YouTube link, we can send that to him. He can play audio from that.
Additionally, no animals or dogs are allowed.
If we have the YouTube link, we can send that to him. He can play the audio from that.
We're also reminded those people they are sitting next to, please watch your language. The use of profanity.
YouTube link?
Yep, we just need the link to the game.
Finally, spectators are asked to help with trash throughout the game. Please make sure to use the trash cans located throughout the game whenever possible. We thank you for your cooperation.
Maddie never sent that to you, did he?
Well, I got the connection criteria.
What's that?
I got the connection criteria.
No, but we just need the actual YouTube link that he can find online to watch the game.
See, it's not letting me know.
Yeah, it might be blocked from the school's internet, if that's what we're using. Where's the stream, on MBR, or is it through Facebook?
It's YouTube.
Yeah, what account, MBR?
MBRsport.
All right.
Wilson alumni football players should please report at the inflatable hump in the far end zone.
It won't go to the YouTube.
Here we go, I got it. I'll share it. I'll send it to him.
Football players alumni, please report to the inflatable helmet at the far end zone. Thank you.
I told you guys, how are you? Hey! Come tomorrow?
But I try to go to Google on the internet, the internet cable.
What's that? This thing appears to have to run back down to the helmet.
Conrad. Are you on the school internet, Conrad? No? Okay. Well, we're hardwired, right? Yeah, we are. It probably has social media sites blocked, buddy. He's got it from the YouTube link. Yeah.
What's he got?
He's got the YouTube link I sent him. He's going live in 20. From Lewiston High School, we are ready for Friday Night Lights as the high school football season gets set to kick into one higher gear with the second game of the regular season. The Lewiston Blue Devils looking to get their first win on the season and bounce back from a shutout loss to the Bangor Rams, while Bangor, meanwhile, enjoying starting the season with a winning way and hoping that they can run their record to 2-0 with a victory in their first Class A game of the season. We'll take a quick break and be back with starting lineups and to give you a little bit more introduction to both of these sides. When we return next, you're listening to coverage of Lewiston and Bangor High School football on 105.5 and MBR. An issue. Back here in Lewiston High School as we get set for kickoff of this one. Both teams going into their final huddles here. I'm joined up top in the studio at this beautiful new turf field here at Lewiston High School that just a few minutes before this one played host to the Lewiston and Bangor soccer matchup where the boys team came away with a 3-1 win. And I'm joined up top here by former Lewiston football player Noah Dixon, who's alongside. Noah, happy to have you here, and I assume I can figure out where your loyalties are going to lie in this matchup.
Well, thank you, Caleb. It's a pleasure to be up here. Just the fact that I'm joined up here, just the fact that I'm able to do this is a very good feeling. I like it so far.
It's a different view, I'm sure, certainly, than staring through a helmet or a visor when you're looking down at your team from up top here.
Yeah.
And this is a Bangor team that, as we mentioned, comes in with a 1-0 record under head coach David Morris, as they had a pretty nice comeback. Went down 21-7 against Brewer before rattling it off 35 unanswered points. And for a team that had only had 3 wins in the last 4 years, this is as good of a start as they could have, and hoping to continue that against Lewiston. And Noah, Lewiston team that to be honest, did not look great against Oxford Hills in that 40-0 blowout loss, but it's early in the season, and they're under head coach Darren Hartley, his first game back in charge of the Blue Devils. Sometimes there's some bugs to work out.
Yeah, new coach, new play style. From 2013, having Coach Bruce Nicholas as the head coach, new play style is definitely this year. But this is only the second game of the season. We got 2 teams going at it, both rivals in the Big 8. So it's going to be interesting seeing what goes on tonight.
As you said, that Big 8, the new Class A remodeling, not to be confused with 8-man football, which is what Class E has turned into now. No, Class A, fewer teams than they had before, just one big conference now of 8 teams. Ready for this one to get going. We'll step aside and we're back with the opening kickoff in just a second on MBR and 105.5.
Just making sure.
And with that, we are ready to get this game underway. A little bit of a preview for what we're expecting to see. Expect this to be really more of a ground game style battle. Lewiston has attempted to go to the air in their first meeting against Oxford Hills. Not a lot of success, but as seems to be the norm in high school football, especially in the state of Maine, it's probably going to be the ground game that dominates and decides who comes away with the victory. That's just usually the long and short of it. And on a turf-style field like this, you expect that runners may have a better day. Don't have to worry about any uneven footing, no bumps, no holes in the grass, anything like that. No groundsmen perhaps growing it out a little bit longer along the sidelines like you might have tried to game the system back in the day. This is just very low cut, easy to cut around tacklers with pretty good efficiency without losing much speed. And we could see some teams turn this one into a day to be had for a running back. Last week it was Oxford Hills that had a big day against the secondary. Who might emerge for this Bangor team? Both of them with younger quarterbacks as well. No seniors at the helm of this. You've got underclassmen on both sides of the ball that'll be handling the play calling duties. And of course that can always turn interesting when you're talking a lot about not a lot of experience under these Friday night lights. So Noah, in a situation like this, you, of course, towards the tail end, as this whole project was going on, there was kind of the disruption to the Lewiston team waiting for this field to be available. Now there's a lot of excitement around the program about it.
Yeah, when I played, we'd play back at like Bates College, Garcelon Field, and then we didn't really have a home field, but we had to bus to our home games. But it feels good having our own turf field logo in the middle of the field. But the main person I want to focus on at running back is Dylan Jackson and Danny May, both juniors. Dylan's a senior. Danny, he's probably gonna have a good game, like on the ground. Like you said, on the ground, the ground games to be a big focus and big factor in this game.
And of course, for most teams, it's going to be important to make sure they can establish some kind of presence through the air so the teams can't just load up the box with a big front 8 set to try and have to run through. That usually does not work very well. Lewiston has won the toss, or excuse me, I can't tell if they won the toss from the motion there, but they either way are going to start with the football, and Bangor very quickly already set up and ready to tee things off. Lewiston dressed in the home blues with blue pants and white numerals against Bangor clad in all white with the scarlet or maroon, whichever you'd like to call it, numerals on their backs, and socks. Ball placed at the 40-yard line, 12 minutes on the first quarter clock, and we are ready to get this one underway. Coverage coming to you on MBR for those of you watching the live video stream, and of course on the radio here at 105. Kick is away down the left sideline.
Oh, no.
Fielded and muffed for just a moment at the 5, but quickly recovered there by Donovan Jackson. Found a little hole up the right, and he is brought down, call it the 28-yard line, where the Blue Devils will set up shop at 1st and 10.
That was a pretty good return. He kind of muffed the ball a little bit, but he got his team in good position. I like how he got there. I like how he got to like the 27-yard line. And don't feel bad, Caleb. I wasn't paying attention to the coin toss either, so I was looking at the roster trying to figure out what I was going to talk about.
Unfortunately, my referee hand signal ruling is best done with penalty yardage and not so much with the signaling to the crowd on which direction means what for who has won the toss. But ready to get our first snap underway. Cameron Caron in the shotgun snap. He takes this one and he will keep it himself. Finds room on the left tackle, gets a couple of yards. He's out across the 30, and they'll mark forward progress down at the 32-yard line. So, end of the day, not a bad pickup at all on first down, and you can see what they're trying to do, which is perhaps show the pass and look to maybe just find wherever the hole is in the line. Good job there to pick up 4 yards on first down.
And that wasn't really a bad run, really. The gain of about 4 yards. Just keep doing that all day, and you might find yourself going somewhere tonight.
Split back formation in the shotgun. He'll now send one man way deep as the tailback. Looks to me to be Shaddad who's got it. This one is off the right tackle. Not going to go anywhere. Forward progress. I think they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe call it another yard picked up. It's going to set up a 3rd and medium yardage situation. 3rd and 5 with the ball on the right hash mark in their own side of the field. And with 10 minutes and 50 seconds still to go in this first quarter, big 3rd down chance here for a stop for Bangor as they will try and get an early 3 and out. Shotgun formation once again, 2 spread out to the right, 1 wide receiver on the left. Looking to throw to the right side, screen pass, caught in bounds, but not going to be able to advance forward to the 35-yard line, that's all. And 4th down coming up inside their own half. Strategy would say punt the ball away here.
Yeah, punt the ball. You're still in the first quarter, still plenty of time. And honestly, that pass, it was almost dangerous, but it was just high enough for Dylan Jackson to get it. And he just got the ball, but too bad there's the gain.
Not exactly a bubble screen there, but a short out. And just trying to play it safe there with a high percentage completion and hope for some yards after the catch. Couldn't get there. Low snap on the punt here, but punter gets it away, fielded, and knocked down at the 1-yard line of Bangor.
Looks like I think Lewiston's got it.
There's a scramble on the ball. We haven't seen any motion, and it is Bangor who retains the football there, but it was dropped right in front of an on-rushing tackler to just give the Lewiston fans some hope that they might have had their biggest advance of the ball forward on the night.
That was a close call right there.
Excuse me. No, they have. Marked it at the 40-yard line here, so Bangor does retain possession, but they're coming out quick here, and they're going to go spread formation. Shotgun 4 wide receiver, quick throw over the middle of a slant. First down, and a lot more into Lewiston territory, and the tackle made at the Lewiston 31-yard line. That is a big throw and catch on first down. Max Clark, the sophomore quarterback, wasted no time hitting Eli Bradford in stride, and he almost split the difference between the safeties.
And it came from a almost loss of possession, almost Blue Devils in Bangor territory.
They're going to go quick again here on 1st and 10. Just past 10 minutes to go now in the first quarter. Handoff this time, and after breaking through the line of scrimmage, but with the contact coming in the backfield, Bangor ball carrier only gets to about the 31-yard line. I believe that's Johnny Lyon on the carry, and so that's going to set up a 2nd down, and they'll call it 7 as the clock ticks just under 9 minutes to go now.
Bangor's doing pretty good on their opening drive. Let's see if they can cash it in.
First 2 plays were very high tempo, and here they go again with Max Clark this time. He will give the quick pitch and catch, and there's a flag in the backfield, and the tackle made in the backfield as well, but we'll see who the penalty is on. Hold against Bangor.
Ouch, that's gonna bite. That's gonna be a 10-yard penalty. Instead of it being like a 4th and short, it's probably gonna be a 3rd and 17.
Well, instead of setting up a 3rd and 7, I believe this will, if they accept the penalty, this is going to back it up to a 2nd and 17.
Yeah, I looked at the scoreboard. It said 3rd down, and
so now they'll back up that penalty yardage and get a little bit closer to midfield. Ball will be spotted just past the 46-yard line, and that is a big potential momentum killer. Now need to get all the way forward to the 24-yard line if they want to pick up a first down. But they do have 2 plays to do it, 2nd and 22. So I would expect to see them going to the air on both these plays here, and they're in the shotgun formation once again. Rolling to his right, here comes Clark with time to pass. Gets to the sideline, passes, intercepted. That one picked off, and chance for Jackson to try and get to midfield. He is tackled, though, at his own 45-yard line, but the penalty kills the momentum, and on the very next play, Lewiston takes the ball back.
I like what they did there. Good pressure. They got to the quarterback. Dylan Jackson was able to read the quarterback's size, jump in front of the ball, pick it off, and give his team a first down.
And they really did not spend, a lot of energy on that. That was just good zone defense. Everyone following the quarterback's eyes as he rolled right, and there was not much room to throw the ball. That one got away from Clark a little bit as well as he floated it. So Lewiston takes over, 1st and 10, ball on the 44-yard line in their own territory. And the pitch here on the quarterback run got away, and this is going to be a big loss of yards all the way back to their own 31-yard line on that pitch out to Shaddad, who he was ready for it. Ball was just too far in front of him, though, and so let's call it 2nd and very, very long, this time for the Blue Devils, just a couple plays after Bangor was faced with the same situation.
I like the call, but that was not really good execution. Now you're pretty much in a 2nd and long situation. But don't panic here. Settle down. We can get downfield.
They'll line up with 2 wide receivers spread. Tight end stacked to the right-hand side. 1 man in the backfield, and it is Jackson. They'll fake the handoff to him. Tried the quarterback run, but it is blown up in the backfield. Bryce Henair, the defensive lineman, got inside pressure, and he takes down the quarterback for the sack. Heron had nowhere to go with the football there, and that time he did not have the couple of seconds to figure out where the hole was going to be. That was instantaneously blown up at the line.
He barely had time to look up. All he saw was white and red in front of him.
So 3rd and 26 from their own 28-yard line. Lewiston, after forcing the turnover close to midfield, now we'll have to just try and get a few more yards to get rid of the ball on a punt. They'll hand off. Jackson goes up the right-hand side, still pushing the pile a little bit, but ultimately just gets back across the 30-yard line. And with 4th and long, ball coming back to the Bangor Rams.
I don't really agree with the call on the run there on 3rd and long. I'd say pass it on 3rd and long. Maybe see if something can happen there. But anyways, they're probably going to punt here.
I think, especially in a situation like that, you're not expecting that the defense is going to come out in any kind of an easy formation to throw against. So why not see if there's maybe a few holes, get like 10 extra yards, and maybe win that field battle position. But Lewiston only getting a couple on that run up the sideline will now punt the ball away. Lined up and ready for the snap here. Low one again, but plenty of time to get this one off. End over end tumbling kick will fall at midfield. This one bounces the right way, picked up though, and Bradford will go to his right. Shoestring tackle brings him down before he could pick up any yardage turning the corner. So ball will be spotted at the 40-yard line of the Bangor Rams, and that is where they'll get their second crack on offense with 5:47 remaining in the first quarter.
Still 0-0.
So both teams have had at least a chance to get something going, and Lewiston hasn't really had that breakout play yet, but their defense has come up big ones already.
Yep. Interception on the first drive. Let's see if they can repeat here. Let's see what they can do.
Max Clark calling for the snap here, and the handoff is instantly wrapped up in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of at least 3 yards, and that was a good blitz from Lewiston. trying to get pressure in, especially with the motion coming from the wide receivers or the running back in the backfield. They are looking to just get into the pocket and not give Clark any time to throw. 2nd and 12 coming up.
I bet you Lewiston's going to probably blitz again here, probably up the A-gap.
They've got a couple of looks from the outside here. 4 wide receiver, 2 to either side in that spread formation. The lone tailback waiting as well. Clark looking to throw. Pressure coming again, and he just fires this one out to the left-hand side. Diving attempt from Joey Morrison. Looking for the one-hand grab, but was a few yards off.
Well, he didn't blitz up the A-gap, but it's a good incompletion here. But I like what Bangor's doing. They're showing that they're fearless. They're showing that they're not afraid to come after it. They're not afraid to go upfield.
And I think perhaps taking a note from what Oxford Hills did with 3 throwing touchdowns in their victory and trying to move the ball against the secondary as well. But 3rd and 12 now from their own 42, and this one is just a bubble screen. Looking to get a block. They get one up the left sideline. This will be close, but driven out of bounds just before midfield. Will bring up 4th and 2. Nice run, though, by James Neal, who did his job using his patience to allow his blockers to get set up, and then once he had a path, then turned on the jets and raced to the outside. But Lewiston, no panic there. They played it safe enough to keep that one from being a first down pickup, and it looks like Bangor will punt here from just the other side of midfield.
That was a good tackle by Keegan Whiting. That was a good tackle. Prevent him from getting past the first down marker, forcing the punt.
So on 4th and 2 here, we'll see if there is any kind of a fake here. They are lining up max protection here, so I think... Oh, and I think there's a penalty for illegal motion here. This one will drop in towards the 20, roll down, 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 and will stop at the 14-yard line of Lewiston, but it's a false start. Oh, excuse me, no, that is just the sign for an illegal procedure. So, yes, it was that 2 men in motion that they tried to get everybody close into the line to set up a max protect punt, and I think Lewiston will be happy to call for another attempt at the punt, this time from 5 yards further back.
Yep, and now they don't have to be worried about a possible fake run out the fake to snap to the up man for a run. I think they can just get a solid punt, maybe try to block it so they can already be in good field position. But let's see what they do here.
4th and 7 from their own 44. Bangor will set up to punt once again. Colton Trish, the man to do it. High snap, but he gets it down. Left foot delivery. Not as long this time. This one will fall at the 30, though takes another similar bounce. And Lewiston will pick this up and try for a few more yards. Jaden Caron leaping over his own man, spinning forward, and across the 35 he gets before he is tackled. That looked like one of those decisions that coaches go, oh, no, 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 oh, yes, now that it's worked, that's a good play. But decision gets them about 10 extra yards on the return.
And the crowd went wild for that, the move he pulled. And, coaches are pretty much like, don't return it, poison. But then they see that maybe the return is going past the 50, and coach is like, go.
Well, he ran about 30 yards along with all those moves to pick up only a total of 10 as they get set up here with 2 split backs behind the quarterback in the shotgun snap. It is another run. Caron moving off left tackle, but he's only going to pick up about 1 yard as, again, the Bangor defense stays home and plugs all the gaps. No room for Cameron Caron, the sophomore quarterback, to move to the outside. Big body at 6 feet tall, so he can break a tackle or two if he gets that chance, but not running downhill at this point. He's just looking for a hole, and there hasn't really been one since that first play to start the game for Lewiston.
Nope. It's not a good run. It's still 0-0. I think this is going to be more of a defensive game more than offense as it looks.
You could see Bangor not wanting to take any chances there as they played it safe with the field position battle. And almost over the middle. That one nearly picked off. Dante Scales just dropped it off his left hand, but the throw in his defense was a bit behind. But when it bounced off his left hand, there was a moment there where any Bangor defender who was close could have easily taken that one at least 20 yards back the other way.
Yeah, that could have had the potential for disaster right there for Lewiston, but luckily you lived to play another down.
3rd and 9 coming up here. So again, another long conversion attempt for the Blue Devils from their own 37-yard line. Caron, two spread to his right. He's looking to his left, though. Now comes back to his right. Rainbows the near sideline. Jump ball, batted down.
Almost.
Nice defense there by Trish. The punter and defensive back just stayed one-on-one against Shaddad and made sure that he was not going to come down with that football, even if he got the hands to it first.
Nope, that was a good pass. It looked like it was a little bit underthrown, but it had a little bit good arc. It was a jump ball, but now they have to punt it all over again.
Caron did a good job looking off his man so that he did get the one-on-one matchup at the near right sideline, but that is a very tough ball to come down with when the defender has no desire to pick up the interception there, just wants to bat that one down, and that's going to make the receiver's job a lot harder. So Lewiston to punt the ball away here. Oh, this is a short punt straight up in the air. Will barely clear the line of scrimmage. It does take a tumble in the Bangor direction, but that ball will not get across midfield. So the shank punt will stop at the Lewiston 47-yard line, 48-yard line, excuse me, and that is where Bangor will go to work. Their best field position to start a drive in the game so far.
Yeah, not a great punt, but now Bangor doesn't have to work much. They're already in Lewiston territory. Let's see what they do here on 1st down and 10.
Defense has come up big once before. This is not the furthest in to Lewiston territory that the Rams have advanced. And on the sideline, David Morris calling in the audible. So they now go to two wide receivers either side, two running backs in the backfield. Clarkville looking to throw one-on-one, and he finds his man complete to Bradford. Stop, start, move. He gets across the 30, down to the Lewiston 7-yard line he gets. And a first down. Now the Rams have advanced as far as they've been down the field. With 2:28 to go in the first quarter, we remain scoreless.
Not a very bad play. Just hit him on a curl. Maybe he'll pull a couple moves, probably get a few more yards. But that's the kind of play calls you need. That's the kind of big plays you need. Now you sort of get there and get to the end zone.
So we'll see if they look in his direction again. Bradford with two big catches. No, the handoff on first down. Lyon, he is stood up at the line of scrimmage and driven backward, but they will mark forward momentum at the 28-yard line by the looks of things. So set up 2nd and long here, just past the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was a kind of okay run. Not much blocking there. Lewiston's trying to stand tall. Now they're all of a sudden defending their own territory.
Tried the delayed handoff there, but Lewiston didn't get much penetration. They'll go to the throw again. This one well overthrown, looking for Neal, but it overthrows the defense as well and will fall incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up here with a minute and a half remaining in our opening quarter. No one's been able to put points on the board yet, but Bangor getting into territory where you might think about trying the long-range field goal. Not many high school kickers have the leg to put one in from here, but of course you can always take that long shot at the end zone on a 4th down chance. So not necessarily trying to get it all right here, but they will look for a big chunk if they can. Again, two in the backfield, one spread out either side from the right hash mark. Handoff is made, run up the middle, across the 25, and tumbling forward with the momentum to the 23-yard line of Lewiston. That will set up 4th down and about 5, and they are going no huddle. Bangor, 4 wide receiver shotgun spread, and they'll go for it here. Clark taking time, he's hit in the backfield, and he's dropped for a big sack. Turnover on downs, and the Lewiston defense stands tall and bends but does not break. They will not allow the first points of the game. Lewiston will take over on their own 30.
Yep, 1 minute, 10 seconds to go. Good defense right there. Not a bad play call for Bangor. A couple plays. The quarterback for Bangor did not have anyone open at the time. He was looking, and at that time he just gets pummeled right in the backfield.
Trying to set up, I think, that one-on-one throw. And they were looking to go to the end zone there, but not enough time to get the pass away. So Lewiston, they'll set up with 2 wide receivers either side, make that 3 really. And on the run, Caron, shovel pass ahead. It is caught. That was as unorthodox a throw as you're going to see, rolling to his left. And he just flips it, not underhand, but just tossing his arm out in front of him. Ugliest pass you'll see, but effective enough to pick up about 4 yards and set up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, I like that. He just comes back. He's tired of incompletions as much as these fans are pretty much, but I like how he was able to dive right down, make a play.
Believe it was senior Evan Williams on the catch on that far left sideline as they set up with Shaddad very deep in the backfield again. Handoff is to him, running right, and he is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle made by Cabrin Streams, it looks like, the defensive back who came up and got penetration there to bring down the man. 3rd and 7 upcoming. Let's see if they will take the snap or if they'll let the final seconds tick off of the quarter. It looks like, in fact, they will be happy to let the time expire. So, at the end of one, it is Lewiston 0, Bangor 0. We'll take a quick timeout as the teams will switch sides, and we'll be back with another 12 minutes of action remaining in this first half. You're listening to Lewiston and Bangor High School football on 105.5 and MBR.
Not a bad match so far.
Okay, we're clear. Thanks.
They try to put me back in as quick as
Good football,
possible.
not a lot of great finishing, but some good action.
Tell you what's wrong
Yeah.
right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're
Almost
doing.
dropped your phone
Not
for a
get
third
more
time.
Yeah.
training.
It's not going to stay on here very well. There's no
It's
room.
important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have
All
your
right,
daughter
so it's
or
about a
son that's
15-second
injured,
delay
in my
is
case,
what
my
I'm
daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
All right, Conrad, so it's a 15-second delay on the YouTube stream, so I'm going to try and get the timing right on my end. Here we go. Back here at Lewiston High School as we get set for the second quarter, and we begin with Lewiston trying a quick-fire pass to the right sideline on 3rd and 7. That one is going to land in the Bangor bench, so incomplete. And Lewiston will come on to punt the ball away once again. Not the best way to finish things off there, but a couple of positive plays from them right now. Trying to get some kind of rhythm established, and Bangor's done that a little bit throwing the ball. Lewiston hasn't gotten a lot of penetration upfield, and right now the passing game has been very short gains as well.
I mean, it's a good start so far. Just need to find a way to the end zone.
On the punt, this one fielded by Joey Morrison, who absorbed a big hit. And he does not really get any other yards after being spun backwards and trying to turn up the right sideline. But kudos to him for hanging on to the football with a very big tackle, a lot of contact, and he did not cough it up.
That Blue Devil was coming in hot, I'll tell you. I saw him. He was just coming in screaming. That almost was a fumble, but he was able to absorb the tackle, get a few more yards.
So, set up here on the 45 for Bangor. Clark, quick fire throw over the middle is caught in stride. Nick Fournier, the wide receiver and junior, pushes the sticks forward. He is tackled in Lewiston territory at the 48-yard line. Nice pickup there, and that throw had to be perfectly timed from Clark, and he did it.
Good. That's a good job right there. I like the play call. Your 1st down and 10 in Lewiston territory yet again. Let's see if they can capitalize this time.
They're going to go to the air once again. Throw over the middle. It's caught this time. It's Bradford all the way to the 10 and into the end zone. First points belong to the Bangor Rams, and that will silence the Lewiston faithful here on the bleachers right in front of us as 2 quick throws and the deadlock broken early in the second quarter. Just 41 seconds into this second quarter, and Bangor now will try for the extra point.
That was a great play, a great catch and go. And it looked like in the end zone he flexed in front of the Lewiston fan base.
Just a little bit there, I think, to
Don't want
rub
to do
in.
it too much. You don't want to do it too much. You'll get flagged.
So now they'll come on for the kick after attempt. Kick is up, and through the uprights it is good. So a 7-0 lead for the Bangor Rams with 11:19 to go in the second quarter. And as you said, Noah, both of those were just good throws in stride, just quick timing plays, running the slant, using their speedy wide receivers. And the Lewiston defense was not prepared for either quick toss.
Right, and that's what you want to do on an offensive drive. You want to be able to catch defense off guard, maybe throw a couple of quick passes downfield. Maybe something big will happen on that slant. You never know.
And I think perhaps Bangor noticing that the Lewiston defense was playing in the zone, and they were just looking to, try and just fire that quickly over the middle.
It looked more like a cover 2 look by Lewiston to me, but it's very crucial. Now they got to fight back. Now they're down all of a sudden 7-0.
All right, so ready for the kickoff here. Bangor, looks like it is their defensive lineman, Kason Markovich, I believe, the man who is kicking off. And he does line this one forward, driving it all the way back to the 2-yard line. Run up the middle, now shifting towards the left sideline, cutting it back and upended ultimately. Nice job by Jackson, the sophomore, to weave his way forward for a few extra yards, and he's able to get across his own 20. They'll mark him at the 25-yard line, and that is where the Lewiston offense will attempt to respond here.
Now, it's interesting how they're going to fight back here, because we've seen like a lot of runs from Lewiston so far, but I want to see some passes. I want to see him play more aggressive on offense. It looks like it's probably going to be a blitz by Bangor, probably.
Set up here on the quick snap. It's a quarterback keeper. Runs into his own lineman, and after spinning back towards the left side of the line, no hole again. And they will mark him perhaps of a gain of a yard. They ended up starting that one from the 23-yard line, in fact. So only need to get to the 33 for a first down, and that they're going to mark it directly at the 23 again. So 2nd and 10.
Usually the past few years, Lewiston's always had Bangor numbered, but tonight it looks like Bangor is kind of shocking them right now. But that was a good play. Just need to get more yards and pass it more, maybe run it. Maybe catch them off guard.
It's been a lot of runs with a quarterback keeper attempt. Let's see if they go to the handoff. No, they'll throw right side. That one is deflected by one wide receiver and then dropped in front of the other. Dylan Jackson reaching up as that one was on its way to Dante Scales, and neither of them ended up with the football.
Actually, that was Keegan that was about to get the football there. Well, it got tipped off by somebody on Lewis. I didn't really see the number, but I saw number 7 is Keegan Whiting. He almost caught it, but it just fell to the ground.
So now another big third down play, 3rd and 10 from deep in their own side of the field. The quarterback keeper didn't work. The pass a little discombobulated. Now they go wide spread with 4 wide receiver look. And a quick fire throw is picked off. That one was too far out in front of the wide receiver. He is tripped up across the Lewiston 30. Ball was picked off by the man who's been everywhere at the moment, Colton Trish. The punter, the man who's had a couple of good tackles, and now he picks off Lewiston. So now both quarterbacks have thrown an interception on the day, and Bangor set to start deep in the Lewiston end.
Yeah, Bangor, they're doing pretty good tonight. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to want to go to the end zone again, maybe get a 14-0 lead before half. But there's 10 minutes left of this half. Let's see what they do here. I'm guessing Lewiston's probably going to do some type of blitz or some type of man coverage.
So coming in with the play is quarterback Max Clark, wearing number 16 on his back, and has had a good day throwing the football so far. He has looked for 2 men so far in this game, and he finds a different wide receiver who's in for the end zone, Joey Morrison. There is laundry in the backfield.
Personal foul for
the tackle on the quarterback. And let's see, do we have Lewis? We have them both ways.
Oh, really?
I saw the motion being pointed in both directions.
It was roughing the passer. It was a roughing the passer play right there.
Referees are coming to discuss it here. Let's see if they announce it. I see the arms going for a false start or an illegal motion.
False start.
Looks like it's going to come back.
So there was a false start and then the roughing the passer penalty. Those do offset. So
that means it repeats first down then, right?
They will repeat first down, and there should not be any yardage lost on either side, but I think the coaches are going to look for that as well. Interesting, though, if it was a false start, did not see any whistles go to immediately kill the play.
Right.
Unlike with an offside situation, no reason continuing a play that's a false start. It's not going to go anywhere, but a lot of noise here from the fans as they saw that one was a quick pass completed, perhaps drowned out the referee trying to signal that.
Big sigh of relief for Lewiston, though. They almost gave up another one, but that was a really big sigh of relief.
So, ball spotted again here at the 27-yard line of the Lewiston Blue Devils. And we have 1st and 10 once again. So just erase that from your memory, folks. Great-looking play, but now Lewiston will have a chance to adjust to that, perhaps. And right now, it looks like Bangor just picking apart the seams in the zone for this Lewiston defense.
Wait, erase what, Caleb?
I like that, Noah. That is exactly what you want to see from a man with football experience.
Yeah.
All right, Bangor now calling the play from the sideline as Clark will come in with it. So again, they've looked for those slants through the middle of the defense and just relied on their wide receiver speed to burn the players after the fact. Bringing a man in motion, both to the left side. They'll give the ball on the flip to Eli Bradford. He turns the corner, has first down yardage, and a lot more. He is tackled down from behind, and a flag comes in after the fact. I believe for the horse collar tackle, but it's going to be 1st and goal regardless.
It's probably going to be yards tagged on, I think. They'll probably be looking at the 1 yard line or the 5. Yeah, it's on the defense.
And it was personal foul for that horse collar tackle. So if he goes out of bounds at, let's call it the 6, that should move the ball half the distance and set them up at the 3-yard line, where they'll have 4 chances to punch this one into the end zone, and with exactly 10 minutes remaining on the clock here in the second quarter. And timeout is taken by Lewiston. Let's take it with them. Bangor knocking on the doorstep, about to double their advantage if they can. They lead 7-0, 10 minutes to go in the second quarter on 105.5 and MBR.
Cool. I'm actually kind of shocked that we're...
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Well, alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Land. Thanks for joining us. For those of you watching the live stream on MBR and YouTube, and of course those of you listening on 105.5 Maine's Big Z. Ready for 1st and goal, and Bangor already up 7-0, looking to put this one in that big blue end zone right in front of them. Clark taking this one under center. He rolls out, fires to the right. Oh, and the ball was deflected and ended up in the hands of an Bangor Ram. It is a touchdown complete to Colton Emerson, the tight end. Oh, my. Eli Bradford went up for that. He lost the ball out of his hands, but dropped it directly in the gut of Colton Emerson, who records the touchdown.
I was not expecting that, but great play. Now they're up 13-0 against Lewiston. I mean, I was not expecting that. I'm generally shocked that happened. I don't know what to say about that.
Hard to say who is more shocked, the Lewiston fans or Eli Bradford, who was very upset with himself for a quick moment as the extra point attempt is tacked on here. Bradford moving his hands to his helmet in shame of having dropped the football and quickly turned into the light when he saw that Emerson was right there to pick it up.
They should really put netting behind the goalpost. They should, before someone not paying attention gets hit in the face of the ball.
You have that raised walkway that goes behind that particular goalpost there.
But
and
people like to walk on grass. So
and it has given a couple of younger Lewiston fans the chance to run over there and chase down a high school football, which they seem to be having plenty of fun with.
I don't think they want to be touching a Bangor Ram football because we're usually up 14-0, but it's not the case tonight, as Bangor, it looks like they're blowing up Lewiston tonight.
Well, David Morris, head coach for Bangor, has to be happy with what he's seen so far. The Rams, a team that, again, 3 wins in 4 years coming into this season. They picked up a big come-from-behind win last week against Brewer, and now are up by 2 scores on the Blue Devils. Lewiston receives the kickoff here, running from right to left, and across the 30, a big hit laid there.
And a flag.
Flags coming in after
Multiple
the flags. And we're seeing, I think, a little bit of pushing and shovings and some unnecessary roughness, I think, after some of these tackles, as Bangor looking to send a message defensively as well.
That was a really, really big hit. Like, monster hit. Like, he pretty much coming in and he laid the boom.
So it looks like they will walk this one forward another 15 yards, and that's going to be a big boost to Lewiston. So instead of setting up around their own 30, they will instead set up just shy of midfield. Ball will be placed on the 48-yard line, excuse me, is where they will begin. So from their own 48, just to the outside of that big Lewiston Blue Devil logo at midfield from the right hash mark, handoff to the left-hand side, and tackle is made in the backfield. No room there for Dylan Jackson to turn the corner, and I did notice here, it looked like they had a new player under center. That was Nathan Lyons, I saw, who was lining up to receive that. Not sure if they were looking for a direct snap or if they're maybe looking to try to change up who's starting with the ball in their hands.
Yeah, if there's any time to fight back for Lewiston is right now. They're down 14-0. Also, it looked like Evan Raymond and Dylan Jackson kind of bumped into each other. That kind of disrupted the play.
So Nathan Lyons is the man who is calling the plays, and instead in the backfield now is Cameron Caron. They will pitch it to him, running to his right. Gets around one tackler, but again, in the backfield he's tackled, and another play with a loss of yardage.
I feel like this is how Bangor won their game last week. They probably played strong defense second half, and they played all-out offense in the second half. But for Lewiston, that was not very good play. Now it's 3rd and 12 instead of giving them 3rd and 1.
So 3rd and 12, and Lewiston with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half, at risk of going their first 6 quarters of 2019 without putting any points on the board. Lyons back to throw. He will heave this one off his back foot, and to the left it is intercepted, and no one in the vicinity of Nick Fournier, who just says thank you very much. Now both pass throwers for Lewiston have tossed an interception. 3 picks in total between the two teams in the game. So, not a great start for the Blue Devils, but only down by 2 scores. Plenty of time to turn this one around, and there is no better sign of that than what happened to Bangor last week when they were down 21-7 and scored 35 unanswered points to pick up their first win against Brewer. And I did want to say here, did we have a flag down in the backfield that I did not notice, because Lewiston looks like they're going to get the chance to go forward here if we had a personal foul.
Yeah, it's a personal foul on Bangor.
Did not hear the announcement from the referee, so apologies to those of you. Some of you watching the live stream might have seen the motion as we were noting down the interception throw. So wipe that one away. Lewiston keeps the ball and gets the first down up to the 39-yard line of Bangor. Quick toss on first down out to the right, and they will pick up a few more yards on the throw to Jaden Caron. Junior wide receiver, able to at least advance the ball a little bit more, and now Cameron Caron, the sophomore quarterback and running back, is coming out, so they're leaving the ball in the hands of Lyons, who will look to keep things moving. 2nd down and 6. This is the furthest into territory that Lewiston has advanced.
Yep, and play calls like that, it's how you fight back.
From the 35, handoff Lyons to the left. Blitz is in the backfield, and 2 Bangor Rams converge to make the tackle. It's the touchdown scorer, Colton Emerson, who also plays linebacker, who got in there along with James Neal, and both of them combined to make the stop, set up for 3rd and 7 from the 36-yard line of Bangor.
And I saw the Bangor defenders coming past the line. Like, I was like, ooh, that's what they're blown up in. Sure did. It got blown up for no gain. Let's see what they do here. Maybe a pass. Probably a deep pass to the end zone, maybe.
When you're handing the ball off out of the shotgun, it just gives more chance for those linebackers to get the penetration. So Lyons having to roll out. His arm is hit as he throws. Jump ball by Lewiston. Over to the far side. Ball was brought down by Dion Hunt. And the tight end, who's known as one of the best in the conference, very close to first down yardage. They're going to mark him short, but he prevents catastrophe by just out-jumping his defenders and coming down with that ball. Set it up for 4th and 2 from the looks of it.
And it looks like they're probably going to go for it. I mean, I think it's a good idea to go for it right here.
No reason to punt the ball now, but too far to go for it from the Bangor 31 for a field goal. So, 4th and 2. Bangor coming with pressure. Quick throw, complete. First down yardage and a little bit extra across the 25. Lewiston moves the chains a second time on this drive.
And that catch by Dion Hunt was really, really key. Like I thought it was being intercepted. I was like, it's gonna be picked up. I saw my jaw literally dropped. Probably to the counter tail that's in front of us right now.
And that one was brought in on that last play by Evan Williams, the senior wide receiver, who was able to make that key 4th down grab. Timeout's going to be taken here by Lewiston. 6.5 minutes remaining in this first half. 14-0 Bangor, but Lewiston moving the ball. Back in a moment on 105.5 at MBR.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Care Partners broadcast booth alongside Noah Dixon. I'm Caleb Lamb. Well, we've got an entertaining second quarter on hands after a scoreless first. Bangor quickly put it in the end zone twice for a 14-0 lead. But now Lewiston moving the ball, and from the Bangor 25, they have 1st and 10 with 6.5 to go in this first half. On the snap, back under center is Caron. Quick screen pass to the left-hand side. Shadad stays on his feet, but then stumbled as he was looking to cut. But he gets across the 20, and let's call that an 8-yard pickup on first down. Into the red zone go the Blue Devils for the first time this game.
See, like I said earlier, play calls like that. Short passes, but if they get big gains, they can find themselves going to the end zone. They're going the right direction here. I like what they're doing. They're down by 2 possessions. That's okay. You still got the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th quarter to do this. So Bangor gets ball at half.
And it is Cameron Caron again who is under center after Nathan Lyons with a couple of good tosses. Caron going to keep it himself. Moves to his right. Trying to push for first down yardage. And let's see where they mark forward momentum as he's ultimately driven backwards out of the pile.
It looked like it was like about 1 yard gain.
He's going to be very, very close. Let's see if they call over the chains for a measurement.
Yeah, they're going to call it.
And they are asking for that. So the referees with their stoppage, timeout from them with 5:27 to go. And they are now calling over the chain gang to see how close they are to the ball. Yeah, they motioned to him. No one has come yet.
Looks like they're going to do. Looks like they're just gonna.
Just a little bit of confusion.
Oh, here they come. Here they come.
Yeah. Now they'll bring it across for the measurement here. This is going to be very close either way. You'd expect that they're going to try and keep the ball moving on the ground as they've had a couple of good looks. But the screen pass also working for them with moving that play 2 plays ago out to the left-hand side. That's really when they move the ball the most, is when they can get that ball out wide in space. Their playmakers.
Yep. Short passes, they might seem a little at first, but you'll be surprised at what they can do for you. Let's see what they do. They're probably going to do a quarterback runs to the middle.
3rd and inches from the 15, and here goes Caron right up the middle, right through everyone, and he's in for 6. Lewiston has their first points of the season, and they're within 1 score of the Bangor Rams.
And I called it too.
That was well spotted, Noah Dixon. You got that one exactly right. And I'm just checking to see where your telescope to the Lewiston play calling signals is up top here. That was perfectly designed right up the middle and pretty much untouched for Caron as well.
It looked like Bangor was trying to blitz the middle, but they're being pushed out of the way by the linemen. That's good. They need to make the session point. Now they're down 7 to 2.
But they need to tack that on. Dion Hunt, the man who had the big catch. He's got pressure right in his face, but he gets the kick away. No, it is off to the right. It did not get through the upright. So, unfortunate there. There was pressure immediately off the snap. And so, Bangor will keep it an 8-point lead at 14-6.
But that's okay. That's okay. Now you're down 1 possession. Get a turnover here. Because you got 5 minutes, 16 seconds left to go, and 1 timeout left, I think.
2 timeouts.
2 timeouts. Oh, yeah.
Both teams have had 1. I should double check that as well, if that is Lewiston that's had both. And if so, the Blue Devils at least do have a chance here to perhaps get this thing tied up before halftime, but they're going to need a big stop before basically force this one to be a 3-and-out with only 5:16 left on the clock.
Yeah, and Bangor's been showing some aggression on offense. They've been hot lately. Let's see what they can do here.
Blue Devils to kick this one away. Dion Hunt will be the man to tee it up. The tight end and defensive end. Couldn't convert the extra point attempt. Let's see what he can get for distance off the kicking tee here. Bangor set up with 2 deep to try and return. Hunt with the short run-up. Just boots that one off his toe, and it falls at about the 30. So not the man they wanted on the ball, as it was picked up by the man who's been seemingly everywhere, Colton Trish. He's had interceptions, he's had good tackles, but he has to scramble for a couple of yards, and they're going to mark him at the 34 in Bangor's end. So 5:10 to go. Lewiston defense looking to quickly get the ball back to their offense for some momentum. But Bangor, after punching the ball in for a score, they would like to go on a long, probably 5-minute march here to the end zone to put this one in before they get the ball back in the second half.
I like that tackle on kickoff. He did not let go of his jersey. That's good. It takes heart not to let go. He did not give up.
Big wrap-up tackle there as Clark goes over the middle. It's tipped, and it's picked off. Evan Williams up the right side.
He wants 6. Oh, no, it's not getting 6.
Tackled at the 22-yard line in Bangor territory. They didn't even need a 3-and-out. Just one play to get the ball back to the offense.
And they didn't need to waste the time out there. Now they got 5 minutes. Like I said, they have to hope for a turnover, and that's just the turnover they needed. Now they have to punch it in, maybe go for 2, maybe go for a 2-point conversion after if they get a touchdown. But I'm pretty sure by the looks of it, Bangor is looking to probably blitz here, and I bet you that Lewis is probably going to do some type of screenplay.
So Max Clark, 2 touchdown throws, but now his second pick. And with Caron back under center, he's going for it all over to the left. Jump ball, complete. And the wrap-up tackle made inside the 10-yard line. It's Evan Williams again. He has gotten his hands on the ball on 3 occasions in the last 5 plays after a big first down pickup. Then had the interception, and then that catch right there for a first down and a first and goal, and they're going to give him forward momentum at the 6-yard line.
And that Lewiston's fighting back. They're starting to heat up now. Now let's see how they capitalize here on the goal line, pretty much around the goal line. First and goal.
So Cameron Caron under center calls for the snap. He will keep it himself off the right, lunging for the end zone, but he's going to be tackled short. Let's call it the 3-yard line that he makes it to. And for Lewiston, a unique situation they've just found themselves in after perhaps worrying about how much time was left on the clock. Now, they almost don't want to score too soon. Take some time off this clock and don't leave much remaining for Bangor to work with on a potential answer drive of their own.
Yeah, and like I said, Bangor gets ball at half. It'd be nice for them to just punch it in here. Maybe a run up the middle by the quarterback here, or in a blitz by Bangor.
14-6, Bangor lead. Lewiston with the ball, though. Second and goal. The pass to the right. Just incomplete. Throw was behind the intended wide receiver, Keegan Whiting, who got a hand of the ball, but not enough to corral that and pull it down. So third, and they're going to call it from the 5-yard line, is where they gave the stop of forward progress when the knee hit the ground on the quarterback keeper from Cameron Caron. So not as close to the end zone as they thought. And timeout taken here with 3:43. Let's take the quick timeout as well. 14-6 Bangor lead, but Lewiston threatening to tie it up before the end of the first half. Listening to it on 105.5 and MBR.
Is your local school or group looking to raise money?
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Junior Trojan Football and Cheering would like to thank Maine Athletic Fundraising for allowing us to build this beautiful facility. We raised $18,000 in our first year with Maine Athletic Fundraising, $28,000.
Caleb Lamb with you here alongside Noah Dixon. 3rd and 5 from the Bangor red zone with Lewiston trying to get this one tied up. Caron rolling to his right, fires to the end zone, caught! Dion Hunt with another big grab, this one in the blue turf. Touchdown Blue Devils, and pending a 2-point conversion, they could tie this game up.
Looks like they're keeping the kicking team off the field, I think. That's what they're doing.
14-12 right now. They'll spot the ball at the 3, and they are going to go for the tie right now with 3:35 remaining in the first half.
Very smart. Go for 2 here. Tie the game. 3 minutes, 35 seconds till halftime. I like what they're doing here. They're showing some great fight back.
Was a very nice work from Caron, who rolled out to his right, just bought as much time as possible. Thought the pass might have been underthrown, but he eventually got it to Hunt. And they go with 3 wide receivers to the right. Quick fire pass, though, looking for Hunt coming off the line on the left. It's off his hands and incomplete. That was a lot quicker than was expecting, but could not draw enough defenders away from a man like Dion Hunt, who is going to be on every team's scouting report when they play the Blue Devils this season. PAT no good once again, and so it is a 14-12 Bangor lead. And now 3.5 minutes for them to perhaps add some more points before the end of the half, but they're going to be worried about tossing another interception. Max Clark with already 2 of those, but 2 touchdown tosses, and they have looked very, very good when moving the ball on those quick slants.
Yep, and nothing to be worried about for Lewiston. They're only down 2. That's okay. Just stop them here on defense. Maybe get another chance on offense. Let's just see what Lewiston and Bangor do here as the kickoff team comes out.
So, ready to put this ball in the air. Lewiston, having gotten themselves on the scoreboard after it looked like their offense was devoid of ideas in that first quarter, they have clawed, scratched, looked like they had thrown an interception that was wiped away by a penalty, gave them new life, and they were able to score there. And then the defense making a play to give them a short field, and the offense did its job by converting. Now, they're going to have to see if the defense can come up big one more time, because remember, Bangor does start the second half with the ball, and so a little bit longer than a 2-minute drive here, but depending on how much yardage they get on the kickoff, that could decide what kind of strategy they take for this drive.
I feel like Bangor is probably going to run the clock a little bit, make sure Lewiston does not touch the ball until the 3rd quarter.
And Hunt's kick does stay in bounds all the way down to the 3-yard line it is. And Bangor getting no room as Joey Morrison was hoping it would go out of bounds for the penalty to spot the ball at the 40. And the kickoff from Dion Hunt just kept rolling and rolling along the sideline without turning right. A fantastic kickoff, and now Bangor backed up against their own goal line. My goodness, this game has flipped momentum entirely.
I don't know if it's different, if high school football is different than the pros or college, but technically if you would have stepped out and grabbed the ball, technically he's out of bounds. That would probably have been a penalty. That could have been a smart play, but now they're driven back deep in their own 5.
Very tough one for a high school kid, though, to come up with in that situation. And Clark goes to the quick slant throw again, and he's got first down yardage on the completion off to his left. So that didn't take long. Keegan Sear, the target from the left, cutting inside. And Clark looking to move the ball quickly here. stoppage of the clock there while they reset the first down marker.
Like I said, they're probably going to run the ball more.
And now they will hand off. This one going up the middle here, and they'll get a gain of, let's call it 4 yards.
I say 5.
Clock will keep on ticking down, but not necessarily a bad thing for Bangor as they are going very quick here. No huddle, and they've got a quarterback with an arm to move them quickly. He's looking to fire again. This one overthrown. Nice job by James Neal, who reached up to actually knock that one away from a Lewiston defender.
There's a flag in the backfield.
Let's see who the penalty is on as the 2 referees confirm. Another false start penalty.
No, I thought it was a holding because usually when they call a false start, they usually blow the play dead.
It's one of those things when you go to the wide receiver spread here, you've got a lot of players that are looking at that center, trying to anticipate firing off the line, especially with these quick-fire throws. It's all about timing. Very easy for someone to just accidentally be leaning forward, take that extra step, and that's going to draw the penalty.
My junior year, I forgot who we were playing, but we were home, and one of our defenders was running. He was trying to get the snap count. He failed. He was on the slippy toe, then he fell forward for the offsides. I was like, oh no, don't do it to us, man. Don't do it.
Here we go. 2nd and 10. Throw is out into the flat. Morrison could not come up with it. Tried to bring it in one-handed and turn the corner at the same time.
That was a dangerous pass right there. That could have been a pick 6 right there if he did hold on to it.
You never want to float that pass into the flat, especially when you've got defensive backs lining up there, which they obviously will against the spread. So now 3rd and long yardage.
They'll happily pick the ball off of the quarterback. Like, they'll be so glad. They'll be like, thank you, and I'll just take it back to the end zone.
So set up here with 3rd and long yardage. They'll go with the 2 tight end set, 1 man in the backfield. Calling for the man in motion, it's Bradford. They'll pitch it to him. Looking to get around the edge. Hunt wraps him up and slings him down in the backfield. A great defensive play from the tight end. Whether he's playing tight end or defensive end, he's coming up with big stops here. The Lewiston player a little bit slow back to his feet was Garrett Mack, the junior middle linebacker, but he appears to be A-OK. So with 4th and 14 from their own 16-yard line now, or from their own 11, excuse me, they will have to kick this ball away. But 2:32 remaining. Lewiston could get very good field position out of this.
I got this right my junior year against Yale. I said the punts will be blocked and returned for a touchdown. I called that. So I'm going to try to call it again here. It's going to be blocked and returned for a touchdown.
Well, they get this one with a snap, but the kick is not very good. It goes off the side of the foot and will drop down at only the 23-yard line. Net gain of only about 20 yards on the punt. And Lewiston, just outside the red zone again, could have not only drawn level pretty much with 2 scores, they're looking at taking the lead before the half, which, if you had been joining us all of 12 minutes ago, would have seemed like an insurmountable advantage the way this Bangor offense was clicking. But Lewiston has hemmed them in.
It's all in 1 quarter, too.
They are looking to take advantage here. Again, Caron will line up under center once again after being replaced midway through the quarter. Quick throw off the snap, but Shaddad gets nowhere. He is tackled in the backfield. And that quick little screen pass to the running back was sniffed out by the defense. Good tackle, it looked like, in the backfield there from Bryce Hanair.
Yeah, that was a good tackle overall by Bangor. They obviously don't want Lewiston to score with 1:58 left to go in this game. They want to preserve the lead. They want Lewiston to fear them, basically. I bet you Bangor's going to blitz right now.
1:45 to go in the half. 2nd and 15. From the 27-yard line, throw to the left-hand side, complete to Williams. Bounces off a tackle, looking to pull some players with him, and he breaks away. He gets first down yardage and is tackled inside the 10. He never stopped moving his legs, and it paid off with the yards after the catch.
Man, Evan went beast mode right there. That reminds me of Marshawn Lynch when he was bowling over every Saints defender one game. Oh, man, he was looking to go, but he got down. Plenty of time for Lewiston. don't need to rush here.
Down to 1:15 on the clock, and timeout is going to be taken by Bangor. Backed up at their own 8-yard line, and perhaps seeing Lewiston on the verge of taking the lead. We'll take a quick timeout. Back in a moment. It's 14-12. Bangor still up in Lewiston and Bangor football on 105.5 and M.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
As we get set for a first down play. First and goal from the 8-yard line alongside Noah Dixon. I'm Caleb Lamb. Minute 13 remaining in the half and down by just 2 points. Lewiston looking to flip the script on a 14-12 lead. Caron will keep it himself, driving up the middle, still moving his legs.
Touchdown.
And the official puts 2 hands in the air. The Blue Devils have come all the way back to take the lead late in the first half. It's an 18-14 advantage pending the extra point.
Or 2-point conversion. But it looks like the offense is staying out there. Maybe. Yeah, it looks like they're probably going to go for it here. They want to get a 6-point lead if they can, I think.
So after failing on a kick and then failing to convert the 2-point conversion on their last attempt, they'll go for another 2-point try here from the 3-yard line.
Second time's the charm. Let's see it.
Caron with spread with 2 wide receivers out to his right, only 1 man in the backfield. Taking some time, he'll roll to his left, looking at the corner, flip pass, caught by Hunt, and the 2-point conversion complete. It is a 20-14 lead with a minute to go in the half. Lewiston, 20 unanswered points, and what a turnaround this has been in just the last 10 minutes of the second quarter.
Did he just do a no-look pass?
I think did his best to fake that one, but he did flip that one just over the outreached fingers of the defender there coming in. Nice play. They tried the quick fire pass the previous time to Deion Hunt. This time gave him more time to find some space and just use his post-up skills in the end zone to have him be the man coming down with the ball.
Yeah, that was a good drive by Lewis today. They managed to they stayed calm. They drove downfield off a bad punt, but this is what you wanted. This is exactly the situation you talk about. You're down. Okay, let's game plan. Let's take a breath. Let's score a few touchdowns, get the lead. Now they're up by 6 with 1:07 to go in half.
So ready for the kickoff here. They got a great one last time. This one though much shorter, and the ball fielded at around the 40-yard line. Looks like tackle will be made at the Bangor 38-yard line, where they will go to work with only a minute and 2 seconds. But this offense has shown the ability to score on 1 or 2 plays, and you've got to respect the speed of those wide receivers. So not the end of the story in this first half just yet.
Nope, not the end. But let's see what Bangor does. I think they're probably gonna pass a lot, or maybe run the ball, because like we said a million times, they get the ball at half. So don't score here. It's okay. We can try to score the next half.
So Bangor down for the first time this game. They trail 14-20. They start with a handoff up the right-hand side, and that will net about 4 yards, driving them to the 43. Not in a huge hurry to keep things moving here. Down to 45 seconds remaining in the half. Bangor still a couple of timeouts to use if they want them. Clark looking to throw this time to his left. He goes for a big pass, and he's got it. Complete down the left-hand side.
He's tackled.
Sear is brought down, and the ball got away from him. Did it get recovered in the end zone for Lewiston for a touchback? There was a man back there to pounce on it, which was Jackson, but let's see if they call it a fumble or if they call the man down before the ball popped out.
It looked like it was down by contact, because By the way, I saw his knee and elbows down, and who knows? Let's see it.
And they're pushing away the Lewiston defenders. They don't want them next to the referees, and Dion Hunt ushering everyone away to make sure no laundry is thrown on the field. Tough to see from our vantage point, unfortunately, folks. It was running down the left sideline to the far corner away from our vantage point up top here in the press box, and the tackle coming from behind. Ifsier lost the ball. It was being bobbled as he was falling to the ground, because it certainly came out after, or at least we could see the ball rolling away after he was already sprawled on the turf. But
I think it was down by contact. No, it looks like Wilson got it. By the way, Wilson's celebrating.
They're going to call it a fumble, and since it was a recovery in the end zone, it is a touchback for the Lewiston Blue Devils. So wipe out that long throw up the left sideline by Clark, and Lewiston's going to get the ball on their own 20, and I expect we'll see a kneel down or just a handoff to take us to the half.
Yeah, there's 28 seconds to go. They're probably going to kneel it, probably play safe. But that fumble, that was very key for Lewiston, because it could have gone it could have led to a Bangor score. Not that play, but maybe the next.
So, another big defensive play after a couple of interceptions. One that got the ball back to the offense to bring them within 2 points, and then a great special teams play to set up good field position again. Now, Lewiston has settled with the lead, and I don't think they feel the need to get any more points. God, we'll just take the snap here. Max Protect kneels down, and that's going to do it for our first half of play. But what a great turnaround this second quarter saw after a scoreless first 12 minutes. The second set of 12 minutes sees 34 combined points on the scoreboard.
Let's see how Bangor fights back, because they know how it feels to be down by multiple possessions, but this time they're down 14-20. More different than they were at Brewer, but let's see how Bangor comes out of half and attack.
Both coaches with a chance to make some adjustments here. So, as we now have the clock hit the triple zeros, we will step away. At the half, it's Lewiston 20, Bangor 14. We'll break down the first half for you in just a couple minutes when we return. You're listening to coverage of Friday Night Football here on 105.5 at MBR.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Last year, and we hope to top that again this year.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
Back here at Lewiston High School alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Lamb at the half of this one, and very exciting game so far for the fans as the long line, as you would expect, starts over at the concession. A lot of these fans yelling themselves hoarse for their Blue Devils coming back with 3 unanswered scores to take the lead and turn what was a 14-0 deficit into a 20-14 lead at the half. Noah, for a Lewiston team that was shut out in their first game, looked pretty devoid of answers on offense in the first 12 minutes. All of a sudden, the running game and the short passing game have both started to click.
Yeah, I think it's like a different defense they're facing, but it's the fact that now they're starting to get used to the playbook a little bit, and it's like, okay, now things are starting to click and things are starting to make sense for them. So they're starting to just get that momentum. And usually when a team gets forward momentum, it's kind of hard to stop.
And we always have to keep in mind that while Darren Hartley, it's not the first time that he's been at the helm of this Lewiston football team. He is the new coach this year for his second stint. It's going to take a little while in the beginning of the season. You know, you're not going to get that playbook down to that new style of play from just going through preseason drills. You're going to need some live action against some players in another color uniform before things are going to start to click. And what a time for it to do so now in a game that really probably both these teams have circled on their calendars as perhaps a must-win if they want to improve their seeding in Class A this year.
Right. And both teams they were struggling at first, and then one team got a touchdown. Bangor got their first touchdown. Then they got another touchdown off a turnover, I think.
Well, let's take them through the official scoring summary about it. This was the Max Clark show to start off things here, as he set off with a nice touchdown throw in the first minute of the second quarter. Long pitch and catch as he was able to get Eli Bradford involved in the game. But after that, Bradford did not come down with the second grab with only 2 minutes played in the second half. He actually knocked down a pass in the end zone, but thankfully for him, Colton Emerson, the tight end, waiting right underneath to welcome the ball into his arms, and a 2-touchdown lead established, up 14-0 at that point. Lewiston actually went to a different look under center as they moved Caron to the backfield and brought Nathan Lyons under center, who looked okay, had a couple of good tosses, picked up a first down after a interception was wiped away by penalty, getting the ball to Evan Williams, but eventually able to rumble into the back of the end zone was Cameron Caron for his first rushing touchdown of the day, which I must point out, you called very, very well, right up the middle, untouched for about 10 yards to find the blue turf.
I mean, I didn't really think he'd go in untouched. I think he would just shed the first tackle because I just figured it would be...
He's a pretty big guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty big boy.
Let's be honest. After that, though, he was able to get involved in the passing game as Caron completed a touchdown to Dion Hunt. That came after a quick interception from the defense to get them the ball back from the 34-yard line, and they very quickly moved it into scoring position. Could not capitalize on a 2-point conversion, and after missing their first point after attempt, they found themselves down 14-12. But the special teams came up big. Dion Hunt, huge kick down the field, but somehow walked the tightrope on the far sideline and came to rest at the 3, forcing the Bangor Rams to try and return it from there. They only got a couple of yards, and the punt out of their own end zone did not go well. Gave Lewiston the ball just outside the red zone. A few plays later, Caron rushing in once again for the score to give his team the lead, and a big defensive play again in the final minute of the half as Sear for the Bangor Rams running down the left sideline, looking like he was headed for the end zone, and tackled and fumbled the ball into the end zone where Lewiston recovered so that the Blue Devils keep the lead. Bangor will get the ball to start the second half. We'll take a quick break here and break down the keys to the second half for you in just a couple minutes when we return. At the half, it is Lewiston 20, Bangor 14 on 105.5 and MBR.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Your local school or group looking to raise money?
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff that kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Junior Trojan Football and Cheering would like to thank Maine Athletic Fundraising for allowing us to build this beautiful facility. We raised $18,000 in our first year with Maine Athletic Fundraising, $28,000 last year, and we hope to top that again this year.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
Here we are at Lewiston High School alongside Noah Dixon. I'm Caleb Lamb. No, we'll save that tale about the 2018 Battle of Ridge a little bit later in halftime. Yeah. We don't want to scare any kids with how much shouting coaches can do.
Oh man, it was. Yeah, I'll tell you more about it.
Right now, not sure which coach is probably doing some shouting, if any. This has been an interesting game so far. Bangor finds themselves trailing 2014, but in a lot of ways, they've perhaps looked the better offense. They have moved the ball through the air very nicely, with Max Clark finding multiple wide receivers. He's been looking over the middle for Eli Bradford. He's hit Keegan Sear on a couple of those, and James Neal as well out of the backfield. So they will feel pretty confident, but the defense and special teams for Lewiston really helping out the offense for 3 straight scores, and I think this is going to be perhaps one of those games, not to be too much of a cliched announcer here, but will probably come down to whoever has the ball last, because both these teams looking like the field position game is going to decide it. They were both very patient in that first half, and then as they started to get themselves set up with short fields, they made sure to take very quick advantage.
I say whoever's probably going to win is probably going to be a 14-point deficit, or maybe a 6 or 1 point deficit. Who knows? Anything could happen. It's football. Anything could happen. My dad always told me anything could happen in the sport of football.
Well, a reminder for those of you listening, if you're on the way home from a drive somewhere, you can always pop on video coverage of the game, streaming live on MBR and YouTube. Or, of course, if you're needing to head out somewhere, just tune the radio dial to 105.5 and stay with coverage of this one for us the rest of the way. Lewiston 0-1 to start the year, and after that 40-0 shutout loss to the Oxford Hills Vikings, the offense finally showing some cohesiveness here and hoping that they will pick up a big win. For those of you that have missed it in the offseason here, a shakeup in the world of football. No, not just the move from Class E to 8-man football rosters, But the move of Class A, shedding a lot of members and going to a one-division format with 8 teams in it. So everybody's going to play everybody else. And so you've got to pick up your wins where you can, because there are some very, very tough teams in this division now, and you don't want to be one of the teams on the low side of the bracket when the playoffs come around, because you're going to run into perhaps a big juggernaut in the first game.
Honestly, I predict Thornton Academy #1. I'm not really surprised that they're #1 right now in the seedings. They're probably... Who are they facing right now tonight? Do you know?
I didn't have that printed out in front of me. I got enough to worry about with this one game here.
Yeah,
Noah. Let's be real here. But Edward Little in action. They're always a tough team for Lewiston to face. And these are 2 teams that have struggled to put wins together. So, frankly, both of them kind of hoping to get the win against each other, because that's going to give them their best opportunity for an early season W. And for Bangor, this would be their first time in some years of having 2 wins in a row to start a season. So
that's one
talk about moving momentum in the right direction, which for them was their big goal this season.
That's one big circle for Bangor. I'd never seen a warm-up circle that big.
They are stretching from the 40-yard line all the way to the end zone in a big circumference of all their players, while Lewiston will head down to the goal line for some calisthenics. So while they're getting warmed up, let's get ourselves warmed up here to go. No, we'll take a quick timeout and be back in about 2 minutes' time with the start of the second half action. Bangor to receive, but Lewiston, 20 unanswered points. They have the lead up 20-14 at the half. You're listening to coverage on 105.5 and MBR.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life, or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Back here in Lewiston High School alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Land. Big props to our producer as well, Conrad Dougal on site, and Alex Lally back in the studio, bringing you the dulcet tones of Friday Night Football. Ready for the second half to get underway. Lewiston will be kicking away to Bangor. Teams will swap sides. The Bangor Rams on the road, looking to start their season off 2-0, and it was going oh so well to begin the second quarter. 2 quick touchdowns in about 2 minutes' time. Then the Lewiston Blue Devils started to spoil the party with 3 straight scores on combination of defense and special teams, making the field short. What can the special teams do here? Dion Hunt ready to kick it away with his unorthodox style, and the Blue Devils have way too many players on the field at the moment.
No.
There they go. Hunt will boot this one away, spinning off to the 30. This one's returned by Sear, cuts across one man, and he gets over the 40-yard line, tackled at the 43, but we do have more laundry on the field. Another penalty, and let's see if this is against the Blue Devils.
By laundry, you mean flag, right?
Correct.
Okay, I was like, wait, there's clothes on the field? I'm like, who's
After
going to...
you start seeing the penalty flags come on this many times, as I think our 7th or 8th penalty of the game, you got to start using different terminology. Okay. Thought that might have been for some kind of like illegal formation setup with how many players Lewiston was bringing on and then off again, but referees blow that one off as an untimed down. They'll let them get away with that quick adjustment to get the right number of players on the field. So, from the 42 where they marked this, Bangor Rams go back to work.
Lewiston has about 2 safeties right now.
Max Clark looking to his left-hand side. He'll bring Morrison in motion. And he hands off up the middle here. Fighting forward for a few extra yards is Keegan Sear, and he will get to the 45, or check that rather, excuse me. It's Johnny Lyon, the running back, the junior, who took that ball forward. 2nd down and 6. I think it's 2nd and 7, they'll call it, when they give the spot halfway between the yard markers.
I like how they're resetting to what they've done in the first quarter. They're starting to run the ball more. Their halftime song's probably like, okay, let's reset here. Let's run the ball.
Clark taking a look at the sideline, an audible coming in for him. He's got, again, the spread, 2 tight end formation, though. Looking to his right, the throw is complete to the tight end. It was James Neal. He is across the first down marker into Lewiston territory, tackled at the 48 of the Blue Devils.
They go back to that short pass, and it gets them a good amount of yards for the first down. I like it. They're playing down 6. They're trying to keep it cool. Because keep in mind, they still can take a lead with a touchdown and an extra point.
And really, they haven't had too much trouble moving the ball. Just some bad luck, a turnover over the middle, and some bad field position hemmed them back. So trying to stick with what works, and they go to the toss play to the right. No room for Lyon, who is met at the line. No gain. Brings up 2nd and 10. And that was sniffed out well there by the defense, who you would expect would perhaps be a little bit more wary of the pass when that usually sets up the running game. They didn't bite there.
Right, and to think of it, it could have been tied in the second quarter. Could have been tied, but the receiver fumbled. I thought it was going to be down by contact, but I was wrong.
That was Keegan Sear who had lost the ball. Let's see if they go back to him here as they look to the left. Clark uncorks when they do notice Sear, who knocks the ball away from the defender. It was going to be Jackson going the other way. The senior defensive back, Dylan Jackson, saw the end zone right in front of him, but the ball was knocked out of his hands by Sear reaching back. Sets up a 3rd and 10 from the 48-yard line with 2 minutes gone here in this 3rd quarter.
Right as you said, Keegan, he passed right to Keegan.
we try not to call those out too much in the broadcast, but we play it cool. We make it seem like we know what we're talking about up here.
Yeah.
As Morrison,
I'm just saying, you called it there.
He's going to throw this one over to Neal instead as Morrison came in motion, but that pass was set up so deep in the backfield there, Noah. It ends up being a loss of downs. They tried the screen, but Neal caught that one about 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. There was no way he was going to go 20 more for a first down.
If I was the quarterback, I would rather that been incomplete, kind of, because now it's 4th and 11. Now you should punt, and it looks like they will punt. And yeah, now they're punting away to Lewiston, who's been hot lately on offense so far. Let's see what they'll do here.
Colton Trish in to kick this one away. Takes the snap with no trouble. Big left foot boot tumbling end over end. This one will bounce. Takes a big hop. Fielded there. And not a lot of room to run. Stayed on his feet somehow there. Excellent job. That was Jaden Caron, who looked like he was doing the limbo for a moment. Or perhaps a breakdancing move as he put one hand down to just keep his shoulders from hitting the turf. But he does only get a couple extra yards before he's wrestled to the turf. Spotted at the 22 where Lewiston takes over.
Not a bad return at all. Not a bad punt either by Bangor. Let's see what the Bangor defense does here. They definitely want to prevent Lewiston from getting another touchdown, because then they'd be finding themselves back down 14 or down 2 possessions.
9:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. Lewiston up 20-14. High snap, handoff up the middle. Couple of yards there for Shaddad, but he will get no further. Rush was right up the middle, and he's basically directly in the middle of the hash marks, where they will mark him down forward progress to the 27, 2nd and 6.
It seems like both teams are just going to the run again, which is good because they're trying to get the clock going, and Lewiston has a lead, so you figured that they'd probably want to run the clock a little bit, probably. Preserve the lead.
A little bit there. You know, they'll want to make sure that the clock is not going to give Bangor multiple possessions per quarter if they can help it. And they will keep this one in the hands of Caron. Rolls out to his left. Shoestring tackle trips him up, and he stumbles forward to the 30-yard line. Going to be 3rd down and 3 coming up. This could, though, be a very key play. Bangor trying to keep the Blue Devils from establishing some momentum, but it does always feel a lot easier to run the ball and do it well when you have a lead.
Yeah, it's better to run the ball a lot more than pass in the lead when you're in the lead because
you're going to keep that clock moving after every play.
And it looks like a timeout for Lewiston.
Blue Devils taking timeout. They didn't like the look of the Bangor defense that was setting up. So with 8 minutes to go in the quarter, let's take a quick 30-second timeout ourselves. 2014, Lewiston on top on 105.5 at MBR.
Is your local school or group looking to raise money?
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Junior Trojan Football and Cheering would like to thank Maine Athletic Fundraising for allowing us to build this beautiful facility. We raised $18,000 in our first year with Maine Athletic Fundraising, $28,000 last year, and we hope to top that again this year.
Back here at Lewiston High School, 3rd and 3 for the Blue Devils as they take the snap and Caron, quarterback Cooper, he's got first down yardage up the middle and a little bit extra as he gets across the 35. Keep the chains moving with just under 8 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Nice play call there. The Blue Devils like that quarterback keeper run. They trust a lot of their running backs with the ball and not so sure about what the wideouts look like. It's been mostly trying to get Dion Hunt involved with a little dash of Evan Williams in the passing game.
And like in the first half, he's had that incredible catch. Like, let's see. I bet you they're going to be passing it here, probably to number 7.
Ready for the play call here with 7:20 to go. Caron, handoff. Jackson up the left. He's got speed. He turns the corner, tiptoes the sideline, and they will give him the first down before he eventually stepped out across midfield and into Bangor territory down at the 48.
That was a good run play right there. Run to the outside. Maybe read the holes. Look to see if there's anything open. See the hole. He saw the hole. He attacked the hole. Got the first down. A little bit more. Now they're just in Bangor territory.
Dylan Jackson was running downhill there. A lot of speed as he burst through the line, and that helped him get past that first wave of defenders and get those one-on-one matchups outside against the defensive backs. Now they go with the 2-back formation, pistol formation. Let's see what they go with here. Handoff is to Shaddad, who goes up the middle. He's hauled back, but not before he can scamper forward for a 4-yard gain. Maybe call it 3 as they're going to mark him right at the 45-yard line in Bangor territory. But this is the kind of drive Lewiston wants. Right. This is actually shaping up to be their longest drive in terms of plays so far in the game, and they're keeping that clock moving.
Yeah, they want to keep that clock moving, get a touchdown. They're kind of Bangor really worried right now because they're like, oh my gosh, we were up 14-0. What happened?
2nd and 6. 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Two wide receivers spread, but two in the backfield. Caron will keep it himself. Makes one tackle miss, and then he bursts forward. He gets across the first down marker over the 40-yard line and close to the 35. And another good run from him, making the most of his big frame to not only escape the tackles, but he's got some pretty good agility. He's pretty quick on his feet there to make the tacklers miss as well.
Right. And now they're on almost inside the 30, almost to the 20. That's good. Let's just keep on running it. Just keep on doing it. Now there's 5 minutes.
Again, two in the backfield. Offset. Handoff is up the middle, and a big body coming forward with a big hit. That was Bryson Hare, one of the captains on this defensive side. Defensive lineman makes his third tackle with a yards of loss. He has gotten into the backfield a couple of times here, and that time he met the running back. I didn't see who that was for Lewiston. Thought maybe Ben Pelletier, the sophomore.
Yeah, he ran to a brick wall right there, and that brick wall was Bangor.
Shaddad is on the sideline, so Pelletier is the feature back, lined up to the left of Caron, who's in the shotgun for the snap again. Looks to his right. He's got one man there. He's going to fire it across the middle. Over his target, but the defense was not expecting the wide receiver to miss the ball. That was Jaden Caron he was trying to link up with, the junior wide out, and that one could just as easily have been picked off by Colton Trish, who has been everywhere on the field for Bangor, but that's the rare time a ball has gotten by him.
Colton could have picked that off if he was expecting that. But now it's third down, and they're delivering another down.
3rd and 13, long yardage situation from the 38-yard line. Under 5 minutes to go now in the third quarter. It's a good time-eating drive, but can they make it pay off with some points? Pressure coming on the blitz. Throw is away, caught by Shaddad, but he's going to be short of the first down marker. He got across the 30, tackled at the 27-yard line. He needed to get pretty much to the 20 to keep that drive going, but now tougher situation here. 4th down and short, probably too long for a field goal.
I've seen kickers make it from this far in high school.
But just based on the fact with Lewiston, not a lot of arc to the way they kick the football today. They're going to keep it on the field for 4th down.
It's going to be a run up the middle for the quarterback.
4th and 2. Caron surveying his options to the right. He's got Shaddad to throw to. He'll go outside. Williams the catch. He's across the 20 and across the 15. Down just shy of the 10-yard line. 1st down and another big 4th down catch by Evan Williams. That's his 2nd catch on 4th down tonight.
Very clutch. 4th and short. You gotta save the drive. A nice short kind of pass there to get past the markers. I like how that play was designed. I really like that.
So this has been a nice march down the field across our vantage point from left to right, and now in the red zone, Blue Devils with Caron. He'll keep it, trying to scramble up to the 10, and a flag comes flying in as he was wrestled to the ground. And there might be an unsportsmanlike for that. Let's see.
It's probably a hold.
It's a face mask against the Bangor Rams on the tackle, so they're going to add a few more to this one.
I think, isn't that like a 15-yard penalty in high school football? Maybe.
Right now, it would just be pretty much the half the distance to the goal because they're within that yardage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting to see if perhaps we've got offsetting the way the officials are talking to each other, or perhaps they're just trying to figure out where the tackle was made and how many yards it's going to tack on.
Right,
so it is a face mask against the Bangor Rams, and so they will march this ball down to the 7-yard line, and that will be 1st down.
Backs up against the wall now for Bangor. They're really close for being down by 2 possessions.
20-14 lead for the Blue Devils. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Blue Devils trying to cap a long march with a touchdown. Caron keeps it in his hands for a runoff left tackle. Only nets 2. Put him down to the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal coming up.
It was kind of good run. but no gain. But you're on the goal line, so.
And you know who they're looking for in this situation.
Right.
It's got to be number 81, Dion Hunt, that everyone will have their eyes on in the backfield.
I don't see
the players in white and crimson.
Oh, I see Dion.
Lined up to the left is the tight end. They've also got Jackson out in the flat to the left.
Bangor's little blitz up the middle.
And a man on the right. Let's see if they keep it with the quarterback again. Shotgun snap. He will keep it himself. Makes a move. Jumps up the middle, and he's got the score. His third rushing touchdown of the game for number 17, Cameron Caron. He has had all 4 touchdowns, 1 through the air, 3 by land, and it is at the moment a 26-14 Lewiston lead.
This crowd is pretty excited about that. I can hear it from up here. They're pretty loud. That's a good touchdown. I think they're going to go for a 2-point conversion here.
So by my count there, a 14-play march down the field. That was a long scoring drive for Lewiston to take a lot of time off the clock here. 3:15 to go in the third quarter, and they are going to go for 2. Try and make this a 14-point lead if they can get it.
Watch Dion Hunt. He's probably going to get the ball here.
So they line up in the 3 wide-out formation, 2 to the left, but not sure what the issue was here from the referee. Didn't see a signal for a timeout. And I think was just trying to make sure that they had the ball all set and all referees in the right spot before they got this point after attempt underway. Caron calling for it from the shotgun snap. He's going to throw to the left corner. Overshot his man. It was Williams he was looking for in the corner of the end zone. So they cannot convert on the 2-point try. And it is just a 12-point lead, up 26-14.
I was just doing the math in my head. Like I was trying to say, okay, okay, yeah. When he said 12, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Looks like Lewiston's giving Bangor a little taste of their own medicine right here.
That is now 26 unanswered points from the Lewiston Blue Devils. This is sort of what Bangor looked like last week when they ran off 35 straight to turn a deficit into a big win for themselves to get to 1-0. But Lewiston, I think they have gotten a taste for the end zone, and after being shut out last week, they decided they like this pretty good. This whole scoring points thing, not a bad idea.
Even at home too, in front of home crowd, nobody wants to nobody wants to make a mistake on Friday night though. Nobody wants to make that mistake.
So Dion Hunt will tee this one up and get ready to kick it away. Bangor, a couple of speedy backs back there, but to be honest, the kicks have not been reaching them. They've been dropping into that first level of blockers, and it does so again here. Fielded at the 28, rush up the middle is across the 40, and eventually stopped at the 42. Nick Fournier, the junior, having to field that ball, and did a pretty good job with it. I think after seeing the first couple of kicks, those guys are now expecting that the ball may come to them.
Right, yeah, but it could go somewhere else. I feel like Lewiston's just trying to get used to where the ball's going to go, and then when they're comfortable with that, they're going to change it right up on them.
So, from their own 42, 3:10 to go in the third quarter, and down by 2 scores, Bangor goes right to work, and they go right to dropping the ball. Joey Morrison, again, was looking upfield and was thinking about making a move on the last man, the safety, before he secured the catch. And that is the type of thing that will drive a head coach crazy as he gives the play call to Max Clark, who has not been as efficient in this third quarter, but not really to any fault of his own. He's had 2 dropped passes from his team in this third quarter alone.
Right, and those passes that they've been hitting, they've
been on the money. They've been good passes.
But eyes on the ball at all times. Don't take your eye off until the ball's in your hand firmly.
Clark rolls out on second down. Toss is tipped and picked off, and Lewiston has the ball back again. It was James Neal who went up for it, but the man who came down was Jaden Caron. And now the Blue Devils back in possession at midfield, and that is the 3rd interception they have forced on the day. So they have at least been able to take those jump ball type situations and make the Bangor Rams pay. Those quick slants have torn them apart, but as long as they've been sort of matched up in that man-to-man, not had those creases in the zone to attack, they've been just fine.
This game looks like it's probably going to get ugly for Bangor.
Lewiston on the first down play. Handoff is to Dylan Jackson, who is smothered in the backfield by Neal, who wanted to make amends. I think he was upset with himself that he didn't come down with that jump ball when he did get a hand on it. But a nice big tackle for a loss of 4 on the first down handoff.
And he shot the gap there. He just came in flying without a pilot's license.
And as a head coach, that's what you want to see, is a player bounce back from a play that maybe they're going to feel disappointed in and turn that energy into energy against the opponent.
Yeah.
Second and 14 with 2:20 to go here, and the ball on the 44 for Lewiston. Close to midfield, but now only 2 plays together here, and
number 9. Looks like number 9 jumped offside.
Offside, and that did cause the line to jump, so it goes down as encroachment. And so a 5-yard penalty against the Bangor Rams. And for Bangor, you could see from their side of things, players yelling at each other, trying to get themselves fired back up. And that Trueworthy, the linebacker, pointing to his helmet, telling his team, no mistakes here. Can't afford to make this easy on the other team. Now they get 2nd and 9 from the 48.
For Bangor, it's all eyes, no ears.
Caron, quick snap. He'll go to the screen out in the flat. Jackson from the left, no room to turn upfield, and he is knocked down perhaps at the line of scrimmage, but certainly no further. In fact, they'll mark him for a loss of half a yard. So, another long third down play for them to try and convert. They're actually going to call this one 3rd and 11, so really an unfriendly spot on the home turf here.
But the good thing is they have a good lead. They can afford kind of plays like that, but not too much. Don't get too comfortable with playing conservative. You want to also mix in aggressive play styles too.
And for them, they want to keep the ball from hitting the turf, keep the clock moving. Snap to Caron. He will throw over the middle. He's got nothing in front of him. Morrison not going to get there. Evan Williams takes it to the house for 6. And Lewiston has scored 32 unanswered points.
Pending the extra points.
The senior wideout took that slant in stride and just outraced the coverage down the field. It's the Blue Devils' turn to show off their passing strength. 2nd passing touchdown for Cameron Caron.
Oh man, now they're up 32-14. This I mean by heating up. They are really starting to go. And they're a freight train right now.
So exactly 60 seconds remaining here.
They're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for another 2-point attempt here. And let's see what they can do on this one. They've had a couple of looks to Deion Hunt. They looked to Williams last time. They're going to throw to the right-hand side this time. Incomplete. Dante Scales, the intended target, right through his hands. But in his defense, difficult leaping grab to try and...
Right, yeah. I mean, don't be upset at yourself if you drop that 2-point conversion. It's okay. Now you got yourself a good substantial lead, and it might work out.
So, 32 unanswered points means it's a 32-14 lead, and the Bangor Rams a little bit stunned as they have been more than doubled up after a great start to the second quarter from them. And my, how momentum changes, and it has not gone back to the Bangor Rams. Even after they've had a couple of big plays, it's been turnovers, either the fumble or the interceptions. 4 turnovers forced by the Lewiston Blue Devils in this game. Actually, I should say that is... I counted that right. I was thinking back to that one on the kickoff. That was not Bangor did recover that.
It's another short kick.
I should have trusted my math, as this one will squeeze out of bounds. Deion Hunt, you're only going to get lucky with those low squibs staying along the sideline perhaps once out of 10 tries. And
he kind of got a little cute there.
So that one, trying to keep it away from the Bangor return team, will instead give the Bangor Rams decent field position, and goodness do they need it. Let's see what they can do here, though, with a Lewiston defense that can afford to play it a little bit safe and back off these wideouts to keep them in front of them, because with a minute remaining in the third quarter, time is not on the Bangor Rams side.
No, it looks like there's... Oh, no, that's the T. I thought a penalty flag was thrown right there, and it was still there for a second.
All right. So they're getting set to go here, and a little bit of problem for the Lewiston defense is they did not know what formation Bangor was going to line up in. Ball spotted at the 35 after it went out for the penalty. And quickly they go. Max Clark looking to fire over the middle. Oh, Evan Williams had an interception in his hands, and he plopped it right on the ground.
Very dangerous pass right there. You're already at, what, 3 interceptions, I think?
Already 3 picks today.
That would have been 4.
And no, what I'm seeing right now is they're getting that read on those quick slants, and instead of trying to stay with the wide receiver, they're just having either the safety or the nickelback slide into that passing lane and make them try and throw higher over the top, which isn't going to work for that kind of a quick slant.
No, and that was for quarterbacks throwing to the corners, a no-no.
Max Clark going to go for another long pass. This time to the right-hand side. Blocked down! Oh, my! Bradford went high, and he brought it down, tumbling to the turf. Number 7 in white and scarlet, Eli Bradford, with a huge catch. He's already got a touchdown on the day, and he moves the chains in one fell swoop. And that was a big swoop that he made there, launching himself above the defense.
Let's see if the Bangor Rams now have the confidence back built up to score. They have 35 seconds left in this third quarter.
From the Lewiston 47-yard line, 1st and 10, Clark throws it out into the flat and overthrows Johnny Lyon, the running back, trying to hit him for a quick screen. Lewiston had a man out there anyway.
He was almost picked off again.
Really, for them, it probably works out better that the pass fell incomplete as opposed to getting your running back lit up with a big hit.
Oh, man, yeah, because if he got lit up, boom. I mean, it was almost intercepted again, almost.
Lewiston defense has adjusted to this passing game of Bangor. And you can say that with 3 interceptions, but really just around the ball a lot more. No more easy catch and runs for the wide-out core for Bangor. In the shotgun set, 1 running back. Clark's going to keep it himself with the quarterback keeper. Rare run from him, but he moves the chains with some thanks from his offensive line. Give him a gain of about 5 to set up a 3rd and 5.
He's showing the Lewiston quarterback, like, hey, you can run, I can run too.
That, I think, is going to take us to the end of the quarter, but 5 seconds left. Looks like they want to get one more snap off.
Might be the
down to
play.
3, 2, 1. And they were just trying to see if somebody would jump offside. That'll take us to the end of the quarter. Well, the Lewiston offensive onslaught continues. Another rushing touchdown and 1 through the air for a 32-14 lead as we go to the 4th quarter. But we have seen how many points can be scored in just one set of 12 minutes. So don't go anywhere. This game far from being over. Plenty of time left to do something about the scoreline. Back in a moment, Lewiston and Bangor from Lewiston High School on 105.5 and MBR.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Lewiston High School alongside Noah Dixon. I'm Caleb Lamb. 4th quarter starting for you, and it is a 32-14 lead for the Blue Devils thanks to 32 unanswered Lewiston points. But Bangor trying to put a drive together. From the Lewiston 42, 3rd and 5. They'll hand the ball off. Up the middle they go. Close to first down yardage, but I don't think across the line for Johnny Lyon, who dug deep to try and keep the ball moving forward, but he's going to be a yard short. So a big 4th down conversion coming up here. Do you stick with the passing game that's been your bread and butter, or do you try and get it on the ground? They'll go quick. Clark looking to his right. Quick throw. Diving for the catch. That's got to be a reception, and it is. Joey Morrison got his arms under the football and did not let it hit the turf. He moves the chains.
I was going to say, yeah, I think they should stick to the passing game. It's been working out very, very, very well. Except for the 3 interceptions that's happened and the 1 fumble. But they keep doing it. It's kind of working.
They'll go quick again. Clark on 1st down, rolling to his left. Fires a long pass. Safety is back there. Knocked into the air. And I think that was Morrison having to break up the pass as much as anything, as there was a big chance for the interception there. But it goes down as 2nd and 10, and I think Lewiston play a little slow to get up on the play. That's Keegan Whiting, who did take a big shot as he came down after getting hit in midair.
You hate to see injuries happen, even on a Friday night. I hate seeing injuries happen.
He is up, though, under his own power, and the training staff coming up to meet him, but he is jogging back, and you hope for his sake, just perhaps the wind getting knocked out of him or something like that, or maybe very quick.
Or maybe a small cramp. But by the fact he was jogging, he might be okay. He might be able to come back in a few minutes.
Good to see him bounce back from that big landing that he took there. He was up pretty high when he came crashing down on his back.
I think that's what happened. I've had that happen to me before. My helmet snapped back.
So, 2nd and 10. Snap. Clark under pressure. Oh, that one almost hit, but it gets to his intended target. Not going to be a lot of yards. Ooh, but an extra hit came in after the fact. Flags, though, not thrown on it, so Lewiston will go unpenalized for the late hit. Good job there just completing that pass as it went right off the hands of the linebacker, but eventually to Johnny Lyon for a 5-yard pickup.
That was kind of lucky there. He almost got it picked.
3rd and 5 from the 30. Pass is caught, and this time Sear will not fumble the ball as he gets across the 10 and is down to the 6. He wrapped that one up securely as he moved his way forward, and inside the red zone, the Rams go with plenty of time remaining. 10:41 left in the 4th.
They're doing pretty good here. Let's see him punch it in here.
Clark takes the snap, looking over the middle. Touchdown complete, and it is Sear who drags it down. Nice job there, just getting the defense to bite towards the corner, and then he came on the in route to get that one 4-6. And finally, the streak of 32 unanswered points for Lewiston is snapped. Plenty of time remaining as well with 10.5 to go. And pending the point after.
Apparently it's a touch. Wait.
They've gone the wrong way on that score. They're down to 32-20. Currently we're showing as 38-14 to Lewiston.
Apparently it's 38-14 apparently.
So the extra point attempt kick is up, and it is through to make it a 32-21 game.
Right.
And they are sniffing around. Still need some more points on the board. 2 scores needed to try and
11 points.
Take the lead here, so they will need the defense to come up big. Too early, I think, to go for something like an onside kick. You want to get that ball as deep down the field as you can and have your defense make a big stop.
I mean, maybe an onside kick could work because Lewiston offense they've been going downfield a lot lately. So
that last drive in particular in the 3rd quarter, that was a big long march from the 23-yard line all the way upfield and eventually put into the end zone for a rushing touchdown. So not really a good situation here, kind of a pick your poison thing. You'd hope for maybe a turnover, but the Blue Devils offense doing a good job with the football. They're not making a lot of dangerous throws, and certainly the rushing game, they've got some good ball carriers. They wrap that thing up securely even as they're going into multiple tacklers.
I think it is an onside kick here.
They are perhaps showing for it here. They've got guys set up.
Looks like 34 is ready for it.
The right-hand side. Lewiston creeping a little bit close to the line here. And Bangor, let's see what they do. They're going to kick it away. Big boot drives this one down to the 8-yard line where it's fielded cleanly. Rush up the middle. Nice hole up across the 20, across the 30, and down to the 37-yard line. Still in Lewiston territory, but a pretty nice return there to set up the offense. And they are going to try and run as much of the remaining 10 minutes and 22 seconds as they can with a 32-21 lead.
Late in the 4th quarter. Early in the 4th quarter, I meant. Excuse me. Lewiston's in the huddle on offense. Let's see if they can do. And a timeout.
Interesting here. Lewiston looking to go quickly, but is this a timeout? We haven't seen the motion from the referees, or is this just an issue with the stick by the looks of things?
It looks like an issue with the stick.
I'm not sure if they've got the spot right, potentially, or if they've just got an issue with the chains. Really what they looks like they're motioning to is to the Bangor sideline.
Looks like there's a stretcher coming out onto the field.
Oh, excuse me here. Yes, we do apparently have an issue on the Bangor sideline. Good catch, Noah. Let's step aside here for a moment here as we've got a Bangor player potentially in some distress and could have a bit of an injury for something that we've missed. We're going to take a time out here, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. You're watching and listening to coverage of Lewiston and Bangor football on 105.5 and MBR.
Is your local school or group looking to raise money?
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community.
I really hate seeing that.
Back here at Lewiston High School, and alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Lamb. Issue here was that we've got a stretcher being welcomed onto the field, but while a player for Bangor is being attended to on the far sideline, things will continue here. First down play, nets 4 yards for the Lewiston Blue Devils. So we will do our best to keep you updated on the situation going on the Bangor sideline, as they are going to have a player stretchered off to the waiting ambulance over behind the end zone. Second down play. Caron rumbles forward for a couple of yards.
There's a Bangor player down. Looks like he hurt his knee.
Slow to get back up, but able to at least move off under his own power. And big third down play coming up here. Clock continues to tick. They'll get down close to 9 minutes here, and Bangor needing to force this one into a long fourth down play and force the Blue Devils to punt the ball away.
Right, yeah. Because there's 9 minutes left. They need to do something here because they're down big. They're down by 11, I think.
Down by 11 points, 32-21 lead for the Blue Devils. Caron lined up in the shotgun. One in the backfield. You expect he's going to keep it himself. He will. He's got room to get to the right. He cuts back up the middle. He's got first down yardage and more. And Morrison wraps him up at the 40. First down, though, Blue Devils, and they're going to be able to take several more minutes off the clock. Huge first down pickup there for the quarterback.
That's going to be a backbreaker for defense. They're on third down. They're like, all right, we got him hemmed in. Let's stop him here. Quarterback keeps it. Gets a first down. A lot more. How much yards was gained there?
That was all Caron just doing a great job of reading the line. He took his time, knew that he just needed to find one hole to open up, and once he got past the line, he was able to make the next guy miss with a quick cut back up the middle. That was enough to spring him for a 20-plus yard gain. 8:20 remaining in the contest. Blue Devils with a 2-score lead and taking their time moving upfield. This running play doesn't look good, though, but nice job, I should add, to cut back upfield and at least get across the line of scrimmage. Call it probably 2nd and 8. He tries to waste a few more seconds by running back and pretending as if he had landed on top of a defender instead of being down.
Yeah, he tried to sell it there, but I don't think the ref spotted it for a second.
2nd and 9, call it here. Under 8 minutes to go. Lewiston on their way to their first win of the season if they can just keep the clock moving and the ball out of the Bangor Rams' hands, who need at least 2 possessions to have a chance to take the lead themselves.
It looks like it's going very well for Lewiston right now.
Caron back to throw. He throws this one into the flats. High percentage pass. And it is complete to Jackson. Made the first guy miss. And he is going to pick up first down yardage across the 30-yard line in Bangor Rams territory, down to the Bangor 28.
Dylan took number 17's ankles right there.
1st and 10. Clock keeps on ticking away. And for the Bangor Rams, they had one outstanding comeback last week. But the clock is not their friend right now, even if the offense is doing a pretty decent job of moving the ball around. Defense just cannot get a stop, as Caron does a great job of moving the ball around and keeping himself for positive yard gains. He's got one in the backfield. He'll go for the short pass. Intercepted there. And this one going up the right sideline. It is a full race, and it's the quarterback Caron who drags down his opposite number. Good push there. All the way across the 30 into Lewiston territory. Gain, or a touchdown saving tackle, I should say, from the quarterback Caron, who just made sure that he made up for the mistake by hustling as hard as he could Unlucky throw for him. It was a shoelace-high catch for Trish, who just got that ball before it hit the turf. And that was exactly what the Bangor Rams needed with 6:49 to go, still down by 11 points.
That's what the Rams needed. They picked off the pass. Not only during Lewiston territory, they need to score here and maybe get the ball back.
Trips to the right, looking to the left, though. It's a one-on-one matchup to Sear. Ball batted down. Another good defensive play in the backfield by Keegan Whiting, the man who was shaken up in a similar jump ball on the last possession. Back there and able to battle it away from number 23 in white and crimson.
This is beginning to get a really wild, tight game right now. Even though the scoreboard might not say it, but they're only down 11. I want to see what their offense does. Maybe after a touchdown, maybe go for an onside or do what you did last time.
And with a team that can air it out pretty well in the Bangor Rams, they can score on just one play. So plenty of time remaining, even if it is down to 6:43 to go in the contest.
And we've seen that tonight too. You've seen that.
Trips again to the right. They're going to match up tight coverage on the left. They'll bring Bradford in motion. He's in the backfield. Handoff. And Lyons trying to turn the corner on the left-hand side. He will net a couple. Gets across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. And so it'll bring up 3rd and 6, we'll call it.
Fundamental run. They're probably going to pass. Probably go to the end zone maybe. It looks like Lewiston's preparing for that as they get 2 safeties deep, but there's a timeout.
Timeout. Blue Devils will take it with them. Bangor after a big interception, threatening to score and make it a one-possession game, but it is the Blue Devils on top. 32-21, 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter on 105.5 and MBR.
They try to put me back in as quick as possible. The doctors and physical therapists try to tell you what's wrong right away so you can just get it fixed and get back to what you're doing and have your normal life or try to be even better than what you were before.
It's important for a parent to have someone here in Saco, close to the Biddeford-Saco area, because we have a lot of sports teams. When you have your daughter or son that's injured, in my case, my daughter, it's nice to know that you have someone local, someone that you can trust, and someone that is expert in sports injuries.
Back here at Lewiston High School as we get set for a big third down play alongside Noah Dixon. I'm Caleb Lamb. Bangor driving down the field at the 28-yard line of the Lewiston Blue Devils, but 3rd and 6. Pass over the left-hand side is complete. Sear with first down yardage. Joey Morrison had to pull his hand back as he was running the risk of knocking down a wide-open ball to his teammate, and the Lewiston coaching staff upset with how his man got so wide open, just running down the left for a post route.
Miscommunication there.
First down, throw to the right. This one is complete. Bradford trying to make a man miss, but Dion Hunt runs him over from behind with a big tackle, but down to the 10-yard line. Hurry up offense continues. They'll mark this one at the 9. Max Clark surveying his options here. 2nd and 4. In the red zone and needing a quick score with just under 6 minutes remaining and knowing they'll need to get the ball back again. Clark will keep it himself up the middle. He is tugged down, but he'll be spun forward for a gain to the 7. Sets up a 3rd and short coming up now.
They only need about, where are they on? Are they on the 5 or 9?
They're down to the 7-yard line at the moment they've got it spot. 2 yards needed for a first down.
They only need a few yards for the touch.
So, do you go for the first down right now, or do you take a shot at the end zone? They'll hand it off up the middle. Lyons, he's going to get close, but not close enough. Needed to get, I think, to exactly the 5.
That's a no gain.
And he is going to be maybe a 1-yard pickup. So call it now 4th and 1, or 4th and inches, as they give a pretty positive spot here, and they have stopped the clock to call for a measurement. This could be big. I'm pretty sure he needs to get that ball across the white line of the 5-yard line, and it is not, so this should be a pretty straightforward measurement. But let's find out to be sure.
And it's a first down.
First down. He's got just enough. And the Bangor Rams 1st and goal. They've got 4 shots to score, 5 minutes on the clock, but they know they need to score now and then get a defensive stop or an onside kick. And how quickly they score is probably going to determine which route they go.
My legs are shaking. I don't know if it's cold or I'm just getting kind of excited about this game. I think it's a little bit of both.
Max Clark lined up in the spread formation, 2 to either side, looking to his left. He fires. Caught by Morrison. Touchdown Rams. And Bangor has trimmed the lead to a 1-possession game. Let's see if they go for 2 or if they just kick it through for 1. Either way, this is going to set up a grandstand finish with a 32-27 ball game pending the point after.
I say go for 2 because if you get it or not, no matter if you get it or get a touchdown next drive, you're ahead. But if you go for 2, get the 2-point conversion, and have time for the next drive, maybe get to the 20 or 15, call a timeout last second for a field goal to tie it.
Having that 3-point is going to make a big difference here. So
Right,
no surprise that they will go for the 2-point conversion here to try and turn this into the chance for maybe a game-tying field goal if they
the flag.
And the flag comes in. Delay a game on the offense after the point after attempt, so that's not going to help. Let's see what they decide to do here. Might as well still go for the 2. It's just going to make the play call a little bit interesting here.
At worst, they don't get it, but at best, they probably get a turnover or force a punt.
And it makes no difference anyways if they don't get it. They still need to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Better to go for it here and perhaps have the chance. So, doesn't look like much change to the play call here. But expect those routes to go a little bit deeper. Here's the snap. Looking to the left. Blitz coming! And the pass falls incomplete. Nice pressure from the Lewiston defense. And Clark was sent tumbling to the ground there as he got that one away.
Now they're down 4.
Blindside pressure coming from the Lewiston Blue Devils. 5-point deficit, down 32-27, and the Blue Devils, I think we'll expect to get the ball back here. 4:36 remaining. Don't want to go onside kick and give them a short field, because if they score here, this game's over.
Yeah. I mean,
Bangor getting ready to kick off here.
Lewiston's coach was pretty hot on the sideline right there.
Darren Heinley, I think, trying to get his guys fired up. They need to come up with a nice big drive again here. And for Bangor, they're going to be looking for any mistake they can capitalize on. It was that big interception grab that was deep in their own territory, right around the 20-yard line was where Trish picked that one off and raced away to set up that touchdown score.
Looks like they're going onside. It looks like, maybe.
So here we go. They're set up for the standard kick as they've got only 6 spread out in one direction, so they've not overloaded it.
Yeah, they're probably going to kick it deep here.
This one will be sent off the tee and deep by Markovich. He's gotten pretty good leg on these, dropping them at around the 10 to the 5. And he goes deep once again, a little bit shorter, takes a hop and bounces at the 10-yard line where it's fielded there. And nice coverage by the special teams. Tackle is made at the 16-yard line. And Lewiston is going to have a long way to go. This is, though, going to come down to how well they can move the ball on the ground or with those short passes. And Bangor, do they risk taking some risks, perhaps, with a blitz, trying to blow up or go for a fumble strip on any of the rushing attempts, or are they just going to try and keep those players wrapped up tight so they cannot get past the first down yardage? They need to get to the 27 to keep the clock moving and
Lewiston
the chains moving as well.
Lewiston's going to run here, play conservative. But Bangor, if you're Bangor, you gotta get the ball back.
Caron hands off and it goes nowhere, wrapped up in the backfield. First hit by Bryce Henner, and handoff, I believe that was Shaddad, who got no penetration. Good setup, though, as they knew what they were going to do. Bangor knew what they were going to do. Just a battle of who was going to get penetration, and the Rams' defensive line wins that one.
Yep, and stops like those are going to get you somewhere. Now it's second down and long. They got to keep attacking. Now Lewiston's probably going to do some type of Run or pass.
Second and 12 with 3:55 to go. Clock ticking down here. Lewiston using up as much of the clock as they can. Still in the shotgun, though. 3 wide receivers. They will throw. This one a long rainbow pass. It is incomplete. What a huge breakup by who else but Colton Trish. Or no, excuse me, rather. I thought that was number 17. Is that, in fact...
I think it was 17.
I believe it was Nick Fournier, I have to say, because I see Trish hanging out here on the right. So my apologies there. Number 10, not number 17. That was a fantastic breakup in the back because that was a one-on-one, and it stops the clock at 3:30.
And now they're at 3rd and 12. Now they're at 3rd and 12. This is the perfect situation for Bangor to take that ball away. All they need to do is probably defend the first down markers. It looks like they're probably going to do so.
Lewiston lining up, though, with 3 wide receivers spread. Only 1 man in the backfield. Are they going to go for the first down here and a chance to really trim the clock? They'll throw over the middle. Complete. Way too long, and they will have to punt from very deep in their own end.
Why's the clock running?
Clock is continuing to tick away here, and
I don't know why it's running.
It should not be running right now. It's down to 3:24, 3:23, and the Bangor Rams have noticed it, and they are yelling to the referee crew that the clock's still ticking down.
It was at 3:30.
It was at 3:35 when it continued to run, so the clock should be at 3 minutes and 35 seconds when the punt is kicked away here, but the referee's not noticing it. They are letting it continue here, so it's just going to be at 3 minutes and 21 seconds.
And that's
the Lewiston Blue Devils get away with one, but not a good kick, and it is fielded at the 33-yard line by Bradford. So
this is going to come down to the wire.
So the Lewiston Blue Devils get a little help from the clock operators there to get about 2 plays worth of time extra taken off, but Bangor will have the ball here and a chance to put themselves ahead with a touchdown. Down by 5. Doesn't matter what they do with the point after attempt here. They just need to put the ball in the back of the end zone.
And think of how consistent they've been in this territory, this game. They've been pretty consistent. They're probably going to be...
Max Clark looking to air this one out if he can. He's got Morrison in motion. Clark looking to his left. Fires. Long ball. Jump ball. Tipped. Oh, just incomplete as Morrison came diving in at the last minute. Couldn't make the one-hand acrobatic catch as it falls just off his fingertips. But a dangerous ball perhaps to take on first down there with a jump ball towards that part of the field.
I mean, that kind of risk is okay when you're down, as long as it's not double or triple coverage. If it's triple or double coverage, then you're probably going to be lucky it's incomplete.
So, Bangor Rams set up here. 3:09 remaining on the clock. Clark taking a look at his options. 4 wide receiver spread handoff, and this one's only going to net a couple of yards as they go to Cabron Streams, who only gets 2, maybe 2.5. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 coming up here.
Let's see what they do.
Clock under 3 minutes. Clark looking to his right. Quick throw is complete. What a catch there. Spin away by James Neal. First down will stop the clock as the chains move. And they are a yard outside the red zone, down to the 21 of Lewiston.
You have Lewiston panicked right now. They're like, oh my gosh, we're pinned down. And they've been consistent. Come on, this Lewiston defense, they need to come up big.
Lewiston
need an interception.
Up 32-27, but Bangor moving. Max Clark, shotgun snap, fires, complete to Morrison, and he does get out of bounds, so only gains a yard. Because he went out of bounds here, high school football, they'll keep it moving here because he caught it in bounds. They'll get it reset quickly.
Okay.
So they didn't actually restart it on the set of the ball there, so that should be clock at 2:22, I think. They restarted it almost immediately after he went out of bounds there, I think.
Or maybe,
and it's still going down.
Maybe he got tackled inbound.
Well, he certainly wasn't down inbounds. That was not the issue.
Right,
so
all right.
2:21, but they started running the clock before they got the ball back to the middle. So
interesting situation here.
Well, it shouldn't be 2:14 because that's only 4 seconds, and the clock ran for another 15.
Oh, there we go.
But interesting. Okay. The Lewiston Blue Devils getting a few extra seconds here, so we'll see what the Bangor Rams can do. It really is a matter of can they pick up the first downs quickly here as opposed to the time remaining.
Let's see it.
Perhaps not the most sporting from the Lewiston clock operators up in the score booth here. That's about 37 extra seconds they've had run off in the last couple minutes alone.
They want Lewiston to win.
So we've got Bangor on the sideline here taking a look and what kind of play they can come up with needing some yards. We've seen really this be the battle all game long for Bangor. Look for their wide receivers, use their speed, try to hit them in stride, and let them break open into the secondary. For Lewiston, they adjusted very well. After the first 2 touchdowns thrown by Max Clark, they stopped the scoring there and went on a 32 unanswered point run themselves by stepping in front of those quick slant passing lanes.
It's getting wild on 2nd down and 8.
So, set up here from the 19-yard line in Lewiston territory. 2nd and 8. Clark takes a look. He'll get the snap. Looking to his right. He's going to fire it for it all. Bradford goes up and gets across the goal line. He broke the plane. It should be a touchdown. They call it a touchback. It's a touchback. Oh, my goodness. Very close call. Now, this has got to be discussed here. Yeah, it looked like Bradford broke the plane with the football, which as soon as he breaks the plane, it's a touchdown. Doesn't matter if he loses the football after that point. This is going to be a game-deciding call here.
Yeah, let's see it.
Bangor has already had one go against them late in the first half when a long throw up the sideline was fumbled away, and they call it a fumble and a touchback here, and the Bangor Rams coaching staff is incensed.
Oh, man. That Bangor had the game right there. Are they talking about it again, or?
Bradford went up and made the catch.
Wait, are they talking about it again?
And as he lunged forward over the goal line, the ball did pop out, and a very tight call to make, and the Lewiston Blue Devils will get the advantage here.
Yeah, and they're probably going to be looking at running the ball here. They really had a close call for losing the lead. That was very, very heart-pounding.
David Morris on the Bangor sideline, very upset. You can understand why. You can feel for the team that has had 2 very tight decisions that are non-reviewable, of course, in high school football, and they've both gone against him here, and that one potentially the game decider. Lewiston football on their own 20, and with 2:05 remaining, they're going to keep it on the ground. Caron lunging forward. He will get a couple of yards here. And Bangor's just going to have to hope that they can come up with a quick 3 and out and maybe get possession back for one last desperation heave. Ooh, and who is slow to get up on the field?
It's the quarterback, number 17, I think.
Caron, it looks like, is the man who is down in that scrum, and he appears to be holding his left leg.
He might have hurt his leg in some way on that tackle.
He was certainly in the middle of that huge scrum. Both teams obviously trying to force the ball one way or the other. He's got his team trying to help him move the ball forward, and you've got every Bangor player piling in to try and stop the forward momentum right there at the line. We've seen already a different player in at quarterback for Lewiston in this game. When they were struggling a bit, they brought in Nathan Lyons.
He's probably going to come back in.
But Caron is up on his feet, and the crowd loves to see that he's walking off under his own power here as he makes his way to the sideline. So Caron looks a little bit shaken up, but he does not want to see the training staff right now. But they are going to bring Lyons into the game under center, or rather, I should say, lined up in the shotgun, as you'll expect to see here.
Yeah.
So, a little bit more different dynamic to things here.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of quarterback-designed runs.
Oh, and
timeout's going to be taken by Lewiston here with 1:49 remaining. So, okay to see there. Perhaps trying to give their quarterback an extra chance to rest, see if they can get him back in the game, and perhaps come up with a good play to keep the pressure off of their now subbed-in junior quarterback Nathan Lyons, with a lot on his shoulders right now. First down ends the game, but if Bangor can force this one away, perhaps they get the ball back with a few chances to put it in the air.
And to think Bangor almost scored, Lewiston's going to be really just wiping the sweat off their foreheads on that one. They've come away big time with a turnover.
This has been a barn burner of a football game here. The Bangor Rams jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Lewiston struggling to put together anything on offense. 5 quarters to start the season without scoring any points, and then all of a sudden clicks into high gear and they run off 32 unanswered. But Bangor has bounced back with 2 touchdowns of their own and are now down by 5. 2nd and 10. Lewiston with 1:49 to go. Lyons bobbling the football there as he came forward, but he does secure it, and he's able to get a couple extra yards. Timeout taken by the Bangor Rams. So let's take a quick 30-second timeout to rest ourselves as we set up for the end of this one. 32-27, Lewiston leads with 1:41 remaining. You're listening to it on 105.5 at MBR.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
Back at Lewiston High School alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Lamb. Well, we are set for a very, very tense end to this one.
Controversial ending to the game, though, kind of.
Regardless of how this one turns out, I think. 3rd and 8, 22-yard line of Lewiston where the Blue Devils have the ball. 1:41 to go. Nathan Lyons in the game at quarterback after an injury to Caroline. He fakes the pitch. He's going himself. One-on-one. Big wrap-up tackle. He is slung down. And the clock is stopped. 4th down coming up.
Bangor might get another shot at it.
How much? Minute and 32 seconds remaining. And the Lewiston Blue Devils will have to punt the ball away. And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting.
Oh my.
Nigel Katendi, the sophomore, he has had the punting duties today. He's had a couple good ones, but he did have that one in the first half that went up and came down after about 10 yards.
How much time does Bangor have?
That is the last one for Bangor.
Oh, man. So they got to go quickly. They got to get a good, maybe a kick return touchdown. Or maybe a block. Looks like they want to block this punt, but you got to be careful not to hit the punter.
90 seconds away. The punt is almost straight up in the air. Oh, my! And it takes a nice roll for them. Quickly down from Bangor, but that could have been much, much worse. Instead, it bounces to the 45. When it came down, it was at the 31 of Lewiston.
This game's getting really, really tense. This game's... For all you people watching at home or in the car, this is a wild one.
For those of you that have cardiac issues, we apologize because this is not going to do anything for your blood pressure except jacket sky high. What a tense end to game number 2 of the high school football season here. Max Clark in the shotgun. He takes the snap, fires long. Jackson the interception. He's going to keep running though. Lewiston trying to get him to drop down. Bangor going for the fumble. That's going to do it. He is dropped after that's going to do it. And that is going to be enough to end the contest. Couple of kneel downs. And Lewiston will seal a win. Bangor got the ball back with a chance to go, but the pass left a little bit short from Clark. That is his 4th interception of the game. It goes along, though, with his 4 touchdown passes. So
very, very
he has certainly been the main man for them. He's had some great plays, but that one is not going to be one that he wants to see on the game film going into next week's game.
But yeah, very, very clutch. But in the beginning, when he did fumble in the end zone, I feel like that was kind of a touchdown.
So there is the kneel down from Lewiston. They'll need to do it twice more to seal the deal here. The Bangor Rams jumped out to that early lead. Lewiston, though, set the game right with a huge showing of offensive power that their fans have been waiting for after a shutout loss to open the season. And Bangor made it close, made it very, very tight as it can go. You talk about a team that's going to lose a game by 5 points that twice had a fumble recovered in the end zone by the other team for a touchback.
One knee should do it.
30 seconds remaining. Victory formation is on. It's Lions who will kneel down, but it was their starting quarterback, Cameron Caron, who led them to the victory. Final 20 seconds ticking away, and the Bangor Rams are going to have some bad feelings about the end of this one. A controversial ending to the game, to say the least. But the Lewiston Blue Devils have added a win in their second game of the season. They improve to 1-1, while Bangor falls to 1-1 as the clock hits triple zeros.
And that's
Final
the
score,
game.
Lewiston 32, Bangor 27. We'll take a timeout. When we come back on the postgame show, we will wrap things up. Where to start in this game that is going to go down as one of the best of the early part of the Class A season. Back in a moment, you're listening to coverage of Lewiston and Bangor football on 105.5 and MBR. We'll go 3 minutes here.
Oh, that was the game. That was the game.
Is your local school or group looking to raise money?
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Junior Trojan Football and Cheering would like to thank Maine Athletic Fundraising for allowing us to build this beautiful facility. We raised $18,000 in our first year with Maine Athletic Fundraising, $28,000 last year, and we hope to top that again this year.
When you get hurt, we know you want to get right back into the game or back to the activity you love. With Ortho Access, Maine's only orthopedic walk-in clinic, you don't need an appointment. Plus, you'll save money compared to an emergency room visit. With locations in southern and central Maine, access to an orthopedic specialist is even easier. The orthopedic team at Spectrum Healthcare Partners. We're here to keep you out there.
We're good. You can come back. Back here at Lewiston High School, where we are wrapping things up on the postgame for you from our Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Alongside Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Lamb. fun game, entertaining game, but probably ultimately a controversial one. It'll end with a 32-27 win for Lewiston, but Bangor, especially depending on the angles they're going to have on the film and perhaps the highlights from the TV crew that was here tonight, they may see that perhaps Eli Bradford did break the plane before he lost control of the football, which would have mean that it should have counted as a go-ahead touchdown score with under 2 minutes remaining, as opposed to a fumble and recovery for a touchback by the Lewiston defense. But a classic of a game, and if all the games in Class A football are going to be this much fun, I don't think it's going to matter that it's down to only 8 teams in the top division because this is some entertaining high school football.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. I mean, Bangor jumped up to a 2-possession lead, and then Lewiston comes back and just blasts them in the second half. But then Bangor begins to start to rally. They rally, but they fall short. But what I like about it was a close game. I think both teams did pretty good tonight. Some ups and downs, maybe some things that could have happened, maybe some things that shouldn't have happened.
But let's take you through the official scoring summary of this one. As you said, Noah, it started out with Bangor pointing all sides to the good. It was a scoreless first 12 minutes, but within the first 2 minutes of the second quarter, they had scored twice. Clark finding touchdowns as he hit Bradford for a touchdown, also hit Colton Emerson on the accidental touchdown reception after it was deflected down to him. But 14-0 lead at that point, and looking like their passing offense was going to be hard to deal with. But a couple of turnovers forced, 2 interceptions by Lewiston in that first half, gave them the field position they needed to start marching down the field themselves, and they were able to pop a couple in the end zone as quarterback Cameron Caron had a passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns in that first half, in that second quarter, to turn it into a lead at the break. And it didn't stop there. They continued to start the second half as well. 32 unanswered points put up as Caron tacked on another rushing touchdown as well as his second passing touchdown of the game when he was able to hit senior Evan Williams. So good involvement by Williams and their tight end Dion Hunt, who had the other touchdown grab. They were able to show what kind of weapons they've got after being stymied on offense against Oxford Hills. But a 32-0 run of points due to some issues with missed point after attempts and a couple of failed 2-point conversions. They found themselves still only up by 3 possessions, really 2.5. And Bangor took advantage of that, able to finally get things going again. Touchdown pass was hauled in by Keegan Sear. He was the one who had fumbled the first one into the back of the end zone late in the first half, in the final minute of the second quarter, and then was able to hit Joey Morrison, who spun away from coverage and crossed the plane to cut them within 5 points. Couldn't convert on the 2-point conversion, so down by 5, and that's where things got interesting. Lewiston wasting some clock, able to burn things up, but threw an interception to Colton Trish at his own 30. He raced 60 yards going back the other way to get down to the opposing 30-yard line, and all of a sudden we had good field position for Bangor. Looked like they had punched it in. Nice pass to Eli Bradford. He spun away from the first tackler, but as he tumbled into the end zone, the ball was tumbling as well, and Lewiston recovered it in their own end zone again for the second touchback of the game. Whether or not it crossed the plane is not going to matter now, as it was ruled by the officiating crew as a fumble before getting to the goal line. Lewiston not able to get a first down to end the game, but after punting the ball away, first play from Max Clark, intercepted over the middle, 4th time picked off in the game for him, as he'll finish with 4 touchdowns and 4 INTs, and that wrapped things up. Not perhaps the way Lewiston would have wanted to earn the first win on their season after looking pretty comfortable going into the fourth quarter, but a win is a win, and that's what this team needed, especially as they adjust to Darren Hartley taking over the reins this season, and this will be a big confidence booster for them, I think.
Yep, it'll be a big confidence booster as they head into next week. Both teams are 1-1, very close, very entertaining. Even though it wasn't very close in the beginning and in the ending. But, I mean, I figured that Lewiston would probably end up okay at the end.
Well, we've got to pick our player of the game in this one, and gosh, it is a tough one. This really just depended on, I think, who won the game would decide the player of the game. If you had gotten it for Bangor to score that last one, it's a pretty cinched decision. It would have been Max Clark. But seeing as it didn't, you got to go to the 5-touchdown man himself. 3 on the ground, 2 in the air. Cameron Caron, take a bow.
I was about to
my
say.
friend, the sophomore quarterback, who was a little bit banged up at the end, couldn't be in the game to finish things off in the final couple plays, but he put the team on his back, and as you said, this was a scrappy performance. They had to fight their way through a couple of times, and he used his big body to not only shed tacklers, but also make players miss. He was the key all around, I think.
And what was that fight back last week when they faced Oxford Hills?
Well, I think that's probably what the coaching staff is probably going to say to these players right now, saying that's how you fight through some adversity.
But hey, it's in the past. On to next week.
Could not have said it better.
That's
for
such a Bill Belichick move.
Any football team based in New England. So
that's such a Bill Belichick move.
Noah, final thoughts from you from this one. I gotta say, I think you enjoyed yourself. You with a different view of Lewiston football than you're used to.
Really hard. But I managed to stick through it, and I managed to be 50-50. But I loved watching. I mean, my dad always loved close games. I mean, I love to see a blowout happen on one side sometimes, but close games really get you on your toes, and it had me probably on my big toe.
Well, a fun one, especially for these home fans here who have a lot to celebrate. Bangor, of course, your thoughts and prayers, of course, with the team that had a player who was stretchered off the field as play was continuing on there. So hope that everything will resolve itself there. We never did get notification about which player it was there. So, of course, that's where their attention is going to turn now that this game is over and decided with. Final score for the final time tonight. The Lewiston Blue Devils get their first win and go to 1-1 on the year with a 32-27 victory over Bangor, who now falls to 1-1 themselves on the season. Class A just getting started. Big shout out to our producer back in the studio, Alex Lowing. Of course, our on-site producer, Conrad Dougal, keeping us in check. For my broadcast partner, Noah Dixon, I'm Caleb Lamb. Thanks for joining us. This has been coverage of Bangor and Lewiston High School football. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to it on 105.5 and MBR.